Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here. It is the World Championships. It is the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Joining me is Joe Miller.
Did you see my singed?
I did see your singed.
I was really, really proud to play up on stage. I was actually nervous. My hands were sweating on the mouse.
It's a big stage.
I'm not sure it's going to work anymore. I sweated that much on it. Electronic products and that much moisture do not mix. But yeah, 3rd and 4th place playoff. We've seen the 2 semi-finals today. Actually, I got to see the 2nd semi-final. 2 great games, actually.
Yeah, there were 2 very good games. Unfortunately, there were 2 zeros, though, so we didn't get a best of 3 out of it, which was a shame. And I thought CLG were going to do it. I thought they were going to pull it back, get that 3rd game. But unfortunately, they just seemed to hit that brick wall. So that means they're in this 3rd and 4th place playoff. They are against All Authority, which is, I've said a few times today, against, but there they are in the background. They're in the backstage area, getting ready to warm up. And you know what? I don't know what happened to them this morning. They looked so solid against SK yesterday, and they just didn't seem to turn up this morning. Something just didn't click. They said themselves, said, you know what, Dignitas were just better than us, which is fair play to them. You know, it's all credit to them. You know, just admit it. Like, we just didn't play that well. Dignitas were just strong today, and Voidboy has looked untouchable.
Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible, absolutely incredible. But this 3rd, 4th place playoff, it's not like your usual tournaments where everyone's like, 3rd, 4th place playoff. This one is actually worth quite a bit of cash.
It is.
So if you lose this game and you finish in 4th, $3,800
so
is what your team win. That's what you're guaranteed from playing this game. If you win this game, though, you're going to take $8,000, and that is a big difference coming into this matchup, and it's going to mean that both teams are going to go hell for leather to win this best of 3.
Yeah, that's not a bad prize to take home with you, but they would have much preferred the 50k, I think. Got to be honest, in the finals.
8k, 50k.
Yeah, and but the problem is actually, no, in Kiev, actually the 3rd and 4th place playoff was actually one of the best games. It was a pretty awesome match, and it was Dignitas again this time versus SK, which, you know, obviously SK have been to every single stop on the route, but against All Authority CLG, sounds like a damn good game to me. The players are ready to come out, so let's get them on stage.
All right, and now up next we have the match to determine 3rd place for the World Championship for League of Legends. Let's bring up on stage aAa and CLG.
What's up, guys? Here we are on the main stage one last time for the last League of Legends match of the day. The grand finals to happen tomorrow. Our 3rd place match between CLG and against All Authority to go in just a few minutes. I'm joined by Hotshot and MoMA up on stage. How, the general feeling of the team after the loss?
After the loss, you know, we're bummed, but it's actually not that bad.
That's a great way to look at it. How are you guys feeling right now? Obviously also coming off that loss.
Yeah, of course losing is not cool at all, but it's part of the game and we need to look forward.
That's a lot of things. These guys really have a great mentality on it. Really is when you're losing the matches when you learn the most, and that's what these guys take away from it. Obviously, we discussed before that you've been watching against All Authority to get under the skin of Moscow 5. How is that working for you now towards against All Authority? You're going to use all that you have in your bag?
Yeah, I think we will do well. That's all I have to comment about right now, to be honest.
All right. How do you guys feel you're going to do against CLG? You got to watch them all weekend long. How do you feel about it now? How are you going to take that 3rd place spot?
I think we have to try something new. Like, we lose so hard against the US teams in this tournament. We just need to try some stuff we usually don't do. Like, our setups work against Europe teams, but against the US teams we lose so hard. We just will try something new.
Are you guys heading into this match trying anything as well? Are you going to see if CLG can bring something new to the crowd?
Well, it's kind of funny because A does pretty well versus M5, but we do pretty well versus aAa. So it's just like this triangle. So we'll have to see if they can pull out something new, but I think we're just going to stick to our guns.
Right on. We'll have to see that in just a few minutes, guys. Let's get a handshake underway. Let's get a good clap for these two. Hotshot GG for CLG and MoMA from Against All Authority. These guys are going to take their places over to Joe Miller and D-Man in the casting booth.
So we're about to kick off this game. We heard there something new from Against All Authority, what they tried last time against the American teams. Obviously, they lost to Dignitas, they lost to CLG actually in the group stage. Just doesn't work against the American team. So I wonder what something new actually is.
And something old from CLG. You got something blue on. We're going to have a wedding.
Oh, God. Only English people are going to get that,
no,
sure.
it's a very English thing. Yeah, I mean, CLG said they're going to stick with the gun, so which means we're probably going to see Hotshot split pushing. You know, it didn't quite work out against Moscow 5. It nearly worked at one point, and then it sort of hit the wall. Question is, going Against All Authority for something new. And I mentioned it last time. Dignitas pulled off that crazy thing in Kiev. I remember the scene in the third game playoff. They went with the dunk strat, I believe they called it. Was the Pantheon, Jarvan, Leona, sort of everybody piles in. Yeah.
Wham.
Didn't quite work out. Trindamir ended up getting about 27 kills or something crazy in that game. So I guess they're going to hope it works out a little bit better. Now, Chowster actually has been ill at this event. He had something that has happened overnight. He had a bit of inflammation or whatever. You know, just literally his face, it wasn't good. It's not good. I think he had to have an injection or something for it. So he's not been that healthy for this. But you know what? It's not affected him that much. Big Fat LP, he's played phenomenal throughout this tournament. Didn't quite work out for him, though, against Alex Ich. I don't know whether that was a case of Alex Ich. Alex actually said he was really bad in them situations when, you know, when they were losing. He says, it's not me that does it, it's my team that carries me at that point. He says, I'm not, you know, I had to take it away, you know, and it was, to be fair, you know, Diamond and Darian played fantastically well. Genji down the bottom on the Urgot in the first game was superb, but Against All Authorities, they're coming into this one on the backside of really what was a very one-sided victory for Dignitas. As soon as I saw the second game picks, I was just like, what? You got no damage, what are you doing? They said, you know, it was actually a controlled pick. They thought they could do all right just with the relying on the cannon damage, but there wasn't damage there. They had three people that were just tanky, but nothing coming out from them. There's the trophy. Unfortunately, these guys are not going to have their names in it. It will be either Moscow 5 or Dignitas. That's going to be happening tomorrow. It's the last final of the day, I believe, as well. All the finals going to be on the grand stage tomorrow, so it will be a big event. And well, there it is. What a great trophy as well. It's an awesome trophy. Well, as soon as I saw it come out this morning, you could see the players. It was just before the semi-finals, and they were all like, oh, what's that? Is that the trophy? Do we get that?
I'm not sure if it'll fit in their hand luggage, to be honest.
No, it's a bit big.
And you don't want to check that thing in,
O'Neil will
that's
be
for sure.
happy to have it in the background on his shelf, you know, when he does his talk show.
He'll take that home quite happily. But what do you think? I mean, Against All Authority said we're going to try something new. What does that mean against CLG?
What does it mean? It could mean anything. There's 93 champions in there on this patch, by the way. I heard it earlier. There were how many champions in it? There is 94, obviously, on live. 93 in this one we have before the Fiora patch. So I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. And we saw M-Rated playing Leona quite often throughout this. Maybe they could throw something out there. Could we see some crazy stuff from MoMA in there? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a 5-up mid. All random or mid.
Yeah, I mean, something risky maybe from Against All Authority. I mean,
I think so.
As we've talked about so many times before, and I'm sure you guys have as well, when we've seen Against All Authority in action, they've played so well recently online. What did they say?
They want the French music.
Linux always bugging me that, you know, whenever I played one time on one stream, I think it was actually the European qualifiers for the Season 1 Championship. I played a French song, and since then, ever since, Linak wants me to play French music every time he gets a kill, which, you know, obviously is not going to happen.
A little jingles.
But he's still trying, bless him. He tries every single game. But CLG saying they're ready, and Against All Authority saying they are ready as well. Again, we'll just wait for that. And so here we go then. The picks and bans are in place. And we'll see maybe here in the picks and bans what something new means from Against All Authority. Whether that comes into their picks, we're going to have to find out here in just a second. So first ban out for CLG is going to be Carthus, a regular ban against MoMA.
Yeah, regular ban. Carthus being banned out there. Udia also been stopped. So CLG, St. Vicious has been playing Udia, so good bit of knowledge there, keeping their eye on the games earlier on against Moscow 5. Ash being taken away from Yellow Star as well, which does surprise me why they banned Ash there, because he's been playing Corky most of the event. So it's a bit of a crazy one. They're obviously worried about that enchanted crystal arrow, which was also a question earlier in the competition.
That was my idea.
We got 4 for 4, by the way, me and Freak, which is not really surprising, I guess.
Yeah.
Be a bit worried if we didn't.
If you got them wrong. Kennen and Rise, I missed it earlier there as well, so very quick bans actually coming out. And surprise, surprise, Shen insta-locked by CLG. And Against All Authority, first of all, going with Jana. Now, we saw, I think, in the quarter-final, both of the games, they played the Corky Leona bottom lane, actually, in the games that we saw. Not going to happen this time. Jana locked in. Shyvana obviously left open as well, and not really surprised to see Shyvana picked up as soon as possible.
No, indeed, and I'm not surprised to see Shen locked in instantly the moment he got left open. We did see Hotshot GG with Shen. It was it was the quarterfinals, wasn't it, I believe, where he was just unstoppable, and I think he went...
Yeah, against Curse.
He was against Curse, yeah, he was unstoppable. So, and it's not good. I mean, he's got teleport on now. I'm not too sure whether he'll bother with teleport. It's going to be a typical CLG here. We're going to have the 4-1 push. Hotshot will be off in a lane, farming away, farming like crazy. He'll get up to 400 CS, and then he'll use his ulti whenever he needs to. So, pretty standard stuff from CLG, and of course they're giving Mundo in the jungle as well. So as CLG did say they were going to go with something old, they're sticking with it so far.
Yeah, and Ezreal currently up, so CLG going to be taking Ezreal. So Shen, Mundo, Ezreal, the 3 picks so far. Over to Against All Authority, see what they'll add to their current Jana and Shyvana pick. And I wonder if we're going to be seeing Corky down there. Like you said, Yellow Star, one of the more frequent Corky players this tournament, and done really, really well with him as well. We saw in
against SK, it was phenomenal. I think it was 9-0-7 or something like that.
He got progressively better actually throughout the games. The second one, SK won that game. He still had a ridiculously good score. The final game, which Against All Authority kind of walked over. He went 9-0.
Yeah,
whatever
just didn't work against Cutie Pie though. Cutie Pie of Dignitas really had that lane on lockdown. Did surprise me actually, especially when he had that early start. Wow, okay, Sion could be locked in here. It could be AD Sion. Maybe that's something they're going with. Maybe we're going the crazy chopper man coming out of the jungle. It's entirely possible. Cogmore as well locked in, so that could be Cogmore down the bottom lane with Jana. So a protective strat. Will we see another AD? Or will we see? We could see Linak in the jungle with Sion. Maybe that's something new, or whether they're just going to go mid. Actually, they could just be toying with CLG, and maybe we're going to see Big Fat OP coming out with something a little different, or whether he's going to go with Zon. I'm actually intrigued. He didn't bring out Zillion in the semi-finals, especially when he played so well with it in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's something that I was wondering about as well, why they didn't go for the champion that they've done so well with earlier on. Obviously wasn't banned out against them. They had free reign against it, but I guess they just didn't feel that fitted them at the time. And Sona Cassiopeia going to be the next ones in by the looks of things.
Yeah, so fairly straightforward team from CLG. Cassiopeia was allowed, and he's going to be picked up. So Cassiopeia mid. Will it be something different? What is going on here? What is going on here?
No. No way. They're trolling us, right?
Well, yeah, well, maybe.
Something new.
Something new, the revive strat. I'm not too sure. We're just waiting for the final pick from Against All Authority. What will it be? Will it be another AP? Will it be something different? Will it be... I'm trying to think. Could be a volley bear or something. I don't know. Something different out there. Maybe it could be Victor. Oh, Nidalee. with Surge.
With Surge Ignite on. Yeah, so when they said something new, then that makes it interesting. But
yeah, they've switched. There's a few of them switching.
Yeah, so heal on Janna. That's not really a surprise, but yeah, cleanse coming in onto Shyvana.
So it's going to be Soaz, I think, is going to be top lane with Shyvana. I'm not too sure whether he's going to switch or whether it is actually going to be Linak, and whether Moma's going to be in the middle or whether they're going to switch it round. I'm not too sure what the plan is here. I'm guessing it could well be Moma in the middle. And actually, Moma versus Cassiopeia wouldn't be too bad a pick.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, you can keep that range, land a few spears. We know how it will. You know how dangerous a Nidalee spear can be. We will be seeing Soaz going top lane with Sion and Linak taking Shyvana.
Might go middle.
Or possibly middle as well.
Probably going to switch again, maybe.
Yeah.
They're keeping us on tender hooks here with something new. Hey, they have switched. Yeah, okay. Okay, back to normal. Fairly straightforward, yeah. Standard, I believe, is the phrase. So, you disappoint me, guys. You disappoint me. You bait me with something new. And then go, I don't know, maybe Season 1 style with Shyvana thrown in for the mix.
Well, the thing is, they said it on stage there in front of Hotshot, like, yeah, we're going to do something new. Definitely.
Not really.
Was that trying to bait them? And Hotshot's like, yeah, we're probably just going to do same as we always do, to be honest. And just hope that we come out on top once again.
But you've got to remember the CLG also have this Korean tournament coming up. They're going to be going off for a month, living in Korea. Fnatic are going to be doing the exact same thing. I think CLG are going literally directly after this tournament. I don't think they're going back home. I think they're just off they go to Korea after this. So, you know, they are dedicated to scores. That's how big League of Legends is these days. Yeah, they're going straight to another tournament. So, who do we think here, Joe? CLG or Against All Authorities? CLG looked solid against Moscow 5, but it just wasn't quite to be. Against All Authorities looked very shaky. But I think now they've got nothing to lose, or well, they have got nothing to lose. They've got about $5,000 to lose. It's quite a bit. But I think they're going to be playing with a bit of confidence.
I'm going to go with CLG on this one. The second game against Moscow 5, real solid. Okay, it didn't quite work out in the end, but I think for them, sticking to their traditional setup, I think they're going to have it in the bag.
So here we go into the game. Counter Logic Gaming versus Against All Authorities. It is the third and fourth place playoff. $5,500, $8,500, I get it right, for the winner. $3,500 for the loser.
Just $8,000 for the winner.
Oh, good Lord.
And $3,800 for fourth.
Oh, really? You just had to move the figures away from me, didn't you? But yeah, let's give you a quick roster rundown in case you've just tuned in. We do have this crazy Sion skin in the middle as well. Moma doing a little dance for us there. For Canology Gaming, it will be Shen at the top. It will be Hotshot GG, probably the most famous player in League of Legends. Still, really, I guess there's not really anyone that's taking that mantle off him. Saint Vicious in the jungle. He will be on Dr. Mundo. Meanwhile, in the middle, Big Fat LP. He will be on Cassiopeia. Down the bottom, it's going to be Double Lift on Ezreal and Chauster on Sona. Against All Authorities, well, they're going to have Janna, actually, who has been picked pretty much consistently throughout this tournament. That's going to be N-rated, not going with Leona this time. We have the Butterfly Cogmore with him as well, which is Yellow Star there. Soaz, meanwhile, will be the top lane, ironically playing as Nidalee against Hotshot GG, probably the most famous character he's used to having, so he's going to know exactly what he's up against there. Linak will be in the jungle as Shyvana starting off on those wraiths there, and Moma will be Sion in the middle. So we can see the Wolves being taken away by Saint Vicious. He's going to go up towards the blue buff. Meanwhile, Against All Authorities are helping out pull that red buff. Moma's hoping he's managed to time that shield well enough, and he did, but he actually pulled it nicely for Linak there, and Linak's going to pick it up. So Wolves also taken away for Against All Authorities there as well. So actually trying to marry up the experience. It doesn't quite give the same amount. You can see just around a little bit lower, whereas if we look at Double Lift, oh, actually, Chauster must have stole some experience. Yeah, he did. Double Lift didn't quite pick up those golems properly.
Yeah, not the greatest of starts of CLG, but only minor stuff, actually, at this point in the game. So let's run quickly through the lanes. We're going to have Ezreal Sona for CLG against Cogmore and Janna down the bottom. Middle will be Cassiopeia versus Sion. Top, of course, will be Shen versus Nidalee. And the jungle, Dr. Mundo for CLG and Shyvana for Against All Authority. And we saw instantly there in the middle, early damage being done, early harassment from Big Fat LP, who's been absolutely fantastic through this tournament. Actually up there in the top 3 stats with you know, the best AP carries that we've seen in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been very good. Up until that Moscow 5 game, he was looking very much nailed on for the #1 spot. Yeah, not too sure how that will have affected him. He said he wanted that T-shirt. There was the shirt, sorry. St. Vicious missing his chopper there, and well, Mama immediately putting the stun down on St. Vicious, diving into him. Linek has been exhausted though. Linek's going to have to back away. He will be first blood. Will he manage to get a kill? I don't think Mama will. I think Mama's in trouble now. The chopper lands on him. Mama's going to have to back away from this one. The poison is taken away. You can see the flash from Big Fat LP. He has to go for the double fang. Doesn't quite have it available. Poison one more time. Will he land? He does manage to get the dots on him. Can he get close enough for a double fang? Oh, he missed. One more dot. And you see the health pot. He's going to get caught by the poison. I think that should be enough. He will get the kill. Big Fat LP with a double kill to start with. Meanwhile, St. Vicious is going to get caught out. He's got Yellow Star coming in. Now on Chowster, actually, he's going to have to back away from this one. You can see St. Vicious surely going to get caught out. Yellow Star might have stretched himself a little bit too far for this one. Will not get the kill. The exhaust goes on towards Yellow Star. He's going to get taken down. The chopper back in his face. Chowster is going to pick up the kill with a power cord. Now Enrated's trying to pick up the kill. Ezreal comes in. Finally, aAa get a kill. Has to use the heal, but Double Lift will surely finish this one off. Big Fat LP with a triple kill. My God, what a start.
Are we playing on Nordic East here, or what? That's the kind of thing that we've seen at this level, really only in Nordic East recently. But some great stuff. And the problem against Authority is it pretty much went all in the favor of CLG. 4-1 in kills at this early stage of it. And the biggest problem about that 4-1 scoreline is Cassiopeia on 3-0-1 after 4.5 minutes. That's not going to be a pretty sight. She's got Doran's Ring, double Amp Tome, and, well, Sion's going to have a whole lot of trouble in middle.
Yeah, exactly. Nearly getting the Hextech Revolver 5 minutes into the game is not a pleasant way. And Rated getting harassing on Double Lift there. So Ezreal having to back away from that one. Throws a Howling Gale in his face, so Double Lift's going to have to back away. Not that he's too bothered, because he got a couple of support kills back there. Let's have a look towards Chowster. Chowster coming round the side there to protect him. And Rated throws that Zephyr at him, which actually is going to still come towards him. There it is. Saw it following, and it will follow through. Went with the Z, teleported. Soaz holding off Hotshot, the top lane here, just about. You can see he's 4 CS down, so very close between them. But Big Fat LP is the fed one, so I'm not too sure if the Something New really had the plan of losing 4 kills very early on.
Yeah, maybe that was the Something New. They wanted to make a comeback. Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got Big Fat LP with that red buff on, which I think he actually got from the first kill of it all there. Or, yeah, there was so much action going on in that. Either way, down at the bottom, let's have a look at the early CS. We have 35 for Ezreal, 28 for Cogmort. As we do see Cogmort trying to put a bit of damage down onto Double Lift. Obviously, with Choster down there, we do have a little bit more sustain in the lane. Double Lift can hang around more in the lane with those constant heals coming off. And the amount of summoner spells that were burnt actually in that first little encounter, across the board almost everything was dropped, apart from the guys in the top lane who weren't even involved in that. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Hotshot just taking a bit of damage from Soaz, who is now up to level 6. Shen level 6 as well, so we could see him flying around the map a little bit more and getting involved in those fights when those ganks come in place.
And for me, the big difference in the Dignitas game was Voyboy beating Soaz. Soaz was just completely hammered in that lane. I mean, it wasn't even close, which is, you know, and Soaz is a top player in that top lane. And it's just, it was amazing how well Voyboy has been playing in this one, or Voyman, as people have been calling him, because he keeps growing that great big beard he comes up with every man, which is pretty impressive for a 16-year-old, I've got to be honest, because he is only a young player. I would say the youngest, but Poe Belter obviously wasn't able to attend in this one. He's only 15 for Curse Gaming, but he is one of their top players and unable to attend for tournaments, which is why Curse's results online generally tend to differ from LAN. However, they did reach the quarterfinals with a very good result for them. So, meanwhile, Hotshot back in lane. Hasn't actually, I know he did, he's been back aboard. He just backed away from the lane, didn't he? And quickly life-stealed it up there. Soaz continues to harass him using them bushes, as all Nidalee players would do. but Hotshot is going to be well aware of that one. Momo's going to have a hell of a time in the middle here. You can see Big Fat LP has gone back. I've got that Hextech revolver already. We're only 7 minutes into this game, so he's going to be farming like crazy. Going to pick up that blue buff as well. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Double Lift getting caught out there. Howling Gale just going across the slow from Yellow Star as well, but it's not going to be enough. It will force him back, and he's just going to use a health pot and sit back for a moment. He has got a double Doran's blade, so he doesn't want to leave the lane really just yet. So he's going to stick around. Shyvana, meanwhile, continues on that jungle path. Very quick jungler up to level 6 now. Keeping my eye on Mundo because Cassiopeia has just picked up that blue buff. Now Mundo tries to sneak his way in. Actually, no, St. Vicious looks like he's just going to cover off the lane for a Hotshot there. So it will be the gank tax, I believe, that Freak was talking about earlier. Oh, it's that spear onto St. Vicious there. Actually forced him to use his ulti on the tower. And Soaz thinks he can have a piece of it here, and he's going to have to back away. The tower hits, hurting him quite badly there. St. Vicious' ulti, should have seen that really, ulti. I think he must have just pounced at the exact same time he poked that ulti out, Joe. But yeah, they've backed away from that one.
Yeah, close stuff there, and Soaz took a little bit too much damage from the tower to stay around and finish off that little dive that he had planned there. Lands another spear, and Soaz fancies it. He actually flashes in there. There comes the Shen ulti, but we are going to see him go down. Great stuff from Soaz. I think he thought about running there for a second, then realised, well, if I run now, Shen's here anyway, and he's going to get me. Actually, a Hotshot has come in.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I think he just backed away just to get in position to pounce back over again. So you have to line yourself up because the pounce goes in the direction you're facing. So he just had to quickly adjust his position, I think, was the main thing. But yeah, I see what you're saying. The Shen ulti was coming in. He was like, not too sure whether to escape. No, I've got a pounce on his head. Now we have Hotshot in trouble as well because Linak was sneaking in there. But I think Hotshot's not going to fall for this one. Or will he? Or will he? He has, and don't remember, he hasn't got his ulti, so he can't get a help out. Linak's going to maybe dive. Linak will have his ulti available in a second, as we can see him pushing towards that tower. Does use it at the end there just to steal away the kill from Soaz. I think that may be something new. We're going to steal kills. 4-3 now, and against all authorities, starting to claw the way back after a disastrous start.
Yeah, starting to work their way back into things. Yeah, ulti from Ezreal is coming across. It's going to stop Linak. No, not quite. Does land on Soaz, but Linak will literally a split second finish his blue pill and get himself back home. Meanwhile, down at bottom, we are seeing Yellow Star focusing onto Chowster. Double Lift got no mana at this point as they switch back over onto Chowster. Obviously, level 6 now is Yellow Star, but not quite landing the shots that he needed to finish things off there. Double Lift actually needs to be careful here. He's not really got the mana to sustain. Chowster does come back, and he will be safe. Meanwhile, up at top, Nidalee is going to take the first turret of this game. So that kill from Shyvana, in fact, the 2 kills that we've seen up at the top in favour of Against All Authority, really winning them that early gold. And they're back to round about 800 gold difference. So as here, just trying to clear out these minions. Needs to be careful that he doesn't overcommit to these situations, because Hotshot will turn on him and try and force him away, which is exactly what he's doing right now, but he switches over and pounces his way back to safety.
Just tries to find his way to victory, throws the spear out as if to be cheeky, and will back away. And Purchase, actually, Hotshot realises where he is, and he's going to go straight towards that bush. And now, actually, Soaz is going to pounce towards him. I'm not too sure if he's in the right position, because he's only within 50% damage at the moment. And now Soaz needs to be careful. He has got the Ignite on him. He's trying to bait him round. He's trying to use the minions to try and divide him. I'm not too sure he's got enough. He will pounce across, but he will go down. And Hotshot GG picking up a good kill there. And he was trying his best to bait him around as much as he possibly could, but it wasn't quite enough. The ping has gone down for the river. Didn't see whether N-Rated actually managed to put some wards down and clear them out there. There is a ping ward down on that river, so maybe he managed to pick one up.
Yeah, Rod of Ages completed now on Nidalee as well, as she went obviously back home being dead. If we look down the board, Boots of Mobility, pretty standard item there on Sion. Also the double Doran's ring in place. You've just seen Wriggle's Lantern finished on Shyvana as well, so that makes her a little bit more dangerous. Ezreal BF Sword, double Doran's blade. Did see him taking damage earlier on. Actually decided to stay in lane since he'd just been back and bought those double Doran's blade. Middle is going to get some pressure onto it as well. Soaz going to try to come over and pressure. And we have seen Cogmore go back home. He's got Zeal plus double Doran's blade plus the Berserker's Greaves already finished as well. And I think he was headed down towards middle, but will come back into this bottom lane. It's turret taking a bit of damage in there. N-Rated kind of in a focus of double lift. Is that Howling Gale will land? Will they try and push some damage out? I'm not sure But that's really the option that they have. Actually, Yellow Star, since he's got those tier 2 boots, that could be different. Meanwhile, up on this top side, Hotshot GG could get caught out if he's not careful. Soaz in the brush. He's got Linak there as well as Shyvana. And they're just going to try and push this lane as heavy as possible and then possibly move over into one of those other lanes. Soaz is still hanging around there. That blue buff must be due shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it's just spawned. And Soaz is there ready and waiting. But I think he got spotted, actually. Yeah, and St. Vicious goes across there. We have Soaz and Linak in there. You can see Sion now coming across as well. The trap, ironically, went on towards the... see the ward actually in the place, so keep an eye on the bottom as we go. Poison thrown out, Soaz managed to catch a full wave of that in the face. And they will try and pull it out. Oh, Spear catching on towards St. Vicious. He wasn't ready for that one. Soaz is going to make his way around. Linak is ready and waiting. They have the ward on that, and they got the smite as well. Linak managing to get the steal. That ward playing its dividends there. And that was stealing away the blue buff. So that's actually going to hamper Big Fat LP a little bit there. Soaz comes around. He has a little go towards St. Vicious, and he's starting to cause himself problems. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, you can see the caustic spittle coming out from Yellow Star, but he's not able to catch onto anyone. So that bottom lane, and wow, Moma's actually starting to get very aggressive. Let's have a look how this is working out. 106 CS to 112. He has managed to keep up and gone with that boots and mobility and double Doran's ring, despite that very early triple kill for Big Fat LP, which does surprise me. Big Fat LP, but then again, you know, Sion can farm like crazy once he starts getting higher levels.
Yeah, once he builds that shield up, it's not going to be
Janna having to use the
them.
ulti down the bottom there to save Yellow Star. You can see N-rated, having to cover off Double Lift's attack there and just about keeping Yellow Star alive. Meanwhile, at the top, actually, Soaz is getting caught out by Hotshot GG again on the tower, Joe.
Yeah, early pressure put down by both players, and Soaz needs to be a little bit careful. We've seen that one-on-one earlier on. It was Hotshot that came out on top of that one, but now that Rod of Ages has built up, maybe something Soaz will be feeling a little bit more comfortable. Heart of Gold already finished for Hotshot as well. Soaz pretty much back up to full HP using that heal, plus I think a pot was used in amongst that as well. In amongst that for the first time of the game. I knew that was going to happen, and I've purposely tried to avoid it.
It's in the back of your mind once you're ready. Don't worry, I've been saying just about the whole weekend. But weekend, it's not even the weekend yet, it's been a long week. Double Lift though, clearing out that bottom lane. How's it going that bottom lane? 118 CS for Cogmore. Meanwhile, you can see 138 for Ezreal. Ezreal with that slight advantage, has got that BF sword, and as mentioned before, he generally goes with a bit of damage rather than the Trinity Force early on Ezreal.
Yeah.
Tends to go with a sort of BF sword, maybe even to an Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster. Looking like a possible Bloodthirster, might switch it up. Moma continues to farm with that shield, and he will be chunking down those teams, Minions is the word I'm after. Good lord, it's been a long day for me, I'm afraid. N-rated coming through though. How are they going to start on this dragon? He has got a support fight going with Chowster there. Chowster turns around, puts a power cord in his face, so he throws a Howling Gale back. It's going to be one of those longest ever fights known to man. But Against All Authorities are going to move in. They don't have vision of this ward though. So CLG, not known to fight for Dragon, may actually go for it this time, but Moma's going to go back up, quickly clears the wave and goes about his business. And actually Linux kind of took control of this top lane. He's been just pushing it more than Soaz has.
Yeah, it's left Soaz to actually wander a little bit, actually. Obviously, Nidalee with that Pants can move a little bit faster around. Linak, Shyvana in particular, not slow either to get there. We've also got Sion, who's super quick, boots of mobility, obviously. He's picked up, as you'd probably expect. And that shield now blasting its way through those waves of minions. He's just picked up the needlessly large rod as well, so up to 150 AP to the 125. As we see down at bottom here, Chowster could be in a little bit of trouble. Actually, the stun didn't go over Soaz, and he's going to leap away, and they could even continue to push after that spear hit Double Lift. But no, they pulled the tower. No minions there to take that aggro back. Spear coming very close, and that's the thing with that Nidalee spear is if it hits, you're instantly in trouble. There's not a lot you can do. Soaz needs to be careful though. St. Vicious is there. He used the flash to get away. Was exhausted. N-rated will have to use his ulti. Can he get away from this one? Heal is going to be used. Hotshot GG just absolutely pops him, but in comes Sion as well. Spear completely missing those two. And think that could be, well, the end of the action here. That turret is still fairly high, in fact almost full. There's not really much taken off it. Yellow Star will put out a few hits, try and take it down to around about half HP. And you know, the spear on Hotshot is not the most effective at this point, although if you hit 2 in a row it starts to become a little bit more dangerous.
And Linak just dodging away from Big Fat LP there, not too worried about that. Does get caught by the stun there. Sorry, the slow. The Twin Fang going onto him. Meanwhile, down the bottom, I can see they're actually diving onto him, so I'm going to switch down there. You can see St. Vincent's getting caught out. The stun may come back out for a moment. He will manage to get catching on there. What's the stun? Meanwhile, you can see Linak had got away from that one. So, Soaz tossing out that spear at Hotshot. If anyone knows about that spear, it should be Hotshot. Oh, I'm not too sure if Doublelift wants his fight, you know, because Soaz is pretty well fed. He's going to dive in towards him. Well, maybe he does. He has got the support of Momo, though, and will back away from that one. Minions do take the turret down eventually with the help of Cogmore. And that is the second outer turret down for CLG. So, against all authorities, starting to push Strat a little bit here and go around and pick up Dragon.
And that shield starting to hurt as well. Death's Caress from... Ooh, 40 went across there.
He got the steal.
Did he get it?
No.
Not quite happening. So, overall picture at the moment, 6-5 to CLG in the kills, but those 2 turrets plus the Dragon for Against All Authority mean that they're 1,500 gold ahead. In terms of the CS, let's have a look at that middle lane. 155 for Cassiopeia and 163 for Sion. So he's slightly ahead now, as you may even expect once that shield starts to get up, and he has been wandering around with those boots of mobility on as well.
Yeah, just put himself Rabadon's death gap as well, which is a big upgrade for him. He only just had a blast in 1 before that. Yeah, it was just a blast in 1 before that.
279 AP now on Sion compared to 126 on Cassiopeia. So that shield really going to start to hurt. Let's have a look at the damage on it, actually. 300 plus 251. So up into mid 500 damage range when that pops on you. And they look like they're going to try and come in onto Big Fat LP. Surely will use the ulti. Yes, he will. Well, that shield is going to pop right on top of him. Big Fat LP going very, very low, but Hotshot and St. Vicious are there. It looks like Big Fat LP could get away from this one as he flashes out as well. Linak and Yellow Star have joined the party. Who's the focus going to go on to? Hotshot, which for me could have been the not the best target out of the 2. St. Vicious will walk away with pretty much his full HP as well. But Hotshot, I don't think his finish here is sniffing around that middle area. Maybe wants to just get there to protect this turret. Knows that Against All Authority may just switch up and try and get in for that one. Janet was also just sticking a couple of wards down as well. And if you look at the map vision, warding from from Against All Authority is actually really strong on the top side of the jungle.
Yeah, so Soaz taking away that red buff as well in the jungle. You can see Hotshot now being pressured by Yellow Star and enrated in the middle. And like you say, that vision is definitely all in their favour. That's obviously down to Nidalee. He's been roaming pretty much since that top tower was taken. He's been sitting across the lane. Soaz seems to be enjoying himself here. Must have a lot of gold on him as well. Yeah, 2,000 gold just about. So he's going to go back and... I wonder if he's going to go for a Rabadon's death cap there. I wonder if that's what he's building towards. Something weird. Not so much weird, but just going the old AP.
Pure
tends
AP,
to be AD Nidalee lately. It tends to be more advantageous. Linak might catch St. Vicious here. Does manage to catch the burnout on him, surely, and that's going to be the ulti from St. Vicious already, but Cryptic Gaze will come out for a moment. That will catch straight onto him. The shield popping as well, and St. Vicious caught out of position badly by Against All Authority there. They're going to continue pushing that middle lane as well. Yellow Star covering off Big Fat LP's push, and I'm still surprised that Big Fat LP have not been able to put himself onto this game a little bit more. Had got that Will of Ancients completed, but you can see Against All Authority charging down on towards his turret. It was down to half health already, and he's just going to keep driving forward. Yellow Star will happily cover off this lane, and he's just given any warning to say, yep, they're on the way to you. They have got ward placements. They spotted Hotshot GG, and actually they've lived in their jungle, so they're going almost Moscow 5 style.
Yeah, and Chaucer with Oracles now really needs to get himself into that jungle on the top side. Obviously, it's kind of dangerous at this point. They've got no real vision apart from a one at the right-hand side. You can see in that middle turret as well, Yellow Star and Soaz are there. So that's going to be another turret going down for Against All Authority. And despite that early kill advantage for CLG, 4 turrets going in against them. We may see that team fight happening now. St. Vicious getting to the front of the pack. Actually, Howling Gale will go across the whole team. Cogmore just throwing out as much as he can. They're going to dive in onto Soaz, who will just pounce away. He doesn't want to be giving up that double buff, and General to use as well, just to protect the rest of his team. There's the ulti across Enraged, actually dies to the ultimate from the double lift. Soaz getting the exhaust on me as well. They're trying to pull back. Linak falling very low. Heal comes in. That was very clutch, kept him alive. And well, Mundo went down, and that will be a 1-for-1. And I can't quite believe that Yellow Star and Linak survived that little fight. Without that heal, that would have been a double kill going for CLG as well.
Oh, Momo was trying to hang on that turret. Wasn't quite enough. I thought, you know, what are you trying to do? A 4v1? Hotshot will happily take the tower hits. Oh, Nidalee managed to steal a kill there with the spear.
It was a red buff dot that finished him off as well.
And that is actually just a 2-for-2, but they did take the turret down. And really, that was simply a case of Linak being caught. They're like, okay, Linak's over here, so we're just going to go straight for them. We realise Linak's completely out of position. We know he's going to come behind him, but we can pop someone before it happens. 23 minutes now into this game, and well, Against All Authorities going to go straight for Baron.
Yeah, Baron after 23 minutes, and CLG, they've got Hotshot, but they're not aware of this whatsoever, and that's again all down to this brilliant vision. We've not really seen CLG come anywhere near this top side of their jungle for the last 10 minutes or so, actually. It's been all about Against All Authority. Baron is already taken. They're going to notice that here in a second when they get in vision of this massive minion wave that's up at the top for that free farm. And let's see what the Against All Authority decide to do with it. I almost said the French team there to decided against it to, you know, the 2 Germans, keep them happy.
Well, they're just going to push straight down, and you know, CLG are going to have to respond to this. You can see that Double Lift is away from it at the moment. Moma's just going to come down. He's going to start pushing that bottom lane as well. They will drive towards the tower. I don't think they'll get too much on it though, on the inhibitor. Well, actually, Hotshot GG going out for it, and actually losing half his hit points there. Cassiopeia also caught in the Howling Gale. And I think Hotshot's like, I'm not probably going to do that again. Seemed to take quite a lot of hits from that. Hasn't got a great deal of magic resist, actually. Light's 131, he's got a fair chunk of it. But you can see, Moma down the bottom, he's going to chunk away on that tower. And now they have caught out Big Fat LP as well, getting caught out there. As soon as Moma actually joins this, I'm not too sure whether they need to, whether they're just going to keep poking away at this tower. You can see it's already lost 600 hit points. Meanwhile, Moma continues to just chunk off this tower down the bottom there. He's slowly working away. Hotshot GG now going down the bottom. Not too sure that's the right thing to do. He's going to take the turret down. Will he manage to get the Cryptic Gaze on him? No, he will not. But it has managed to pull it to a 4v4 on this side, and still trying to get on towards that tower. They haven't done anything to it for a while, but Moma's just happy farming down the bottom there. Has used his ulti though, and he's just going to back away from this one. You can see Linak actually just getting slightly pulled out there, but they are not engaging. Remember, this Baron has around about still over 2 minutes on it, so it's a long time. But while this is all happening, Moma is slowly but surely winning the fight down the bottom there. He just got to get a quick Cryptic Gaze and a shield pop on towards Hotshot. Hotshot again is going to have to back away here. Meanwhile, Against All Authority continue to poke and prod at this top lane, Joe.
Yeah, really great stuff, really great split push at the minute. Moma really causing problems for Hotshot, who's currently at half HP. Cryptic Gaze goes off, another shield will explode onto him, and Moma just backs away. Let's see turret focus back in onto the minions. Up at the top there, slowly but surely taking this turret down to about a third of its HP remaining. Meanwhile, we are seeing Hotshot. Oh yeah, he goes low, decides to move away. And Moma says, thank you very much. I'll have a few hits onto this turret. Next wave of minions is coming in. Until then, I guess he will tank that one up. Yep, and he walks straight back into it and should be able to finish this bottom turret off. And I think this is going to be quite annoying for Hotshot, wondering what can I actually do against this. And again, Moma just goes in there. He's quite happy to just hit the turret, take that one down. Hotshot is there, double lift will come in, so Moma will flash away. Needs to escape this little one. Obviously, needs to wait for that Cryptic Gaze to come up before he can stun and get anything across. I think that Moma may actually go down in this.
Yeah, I think he will do, but that's going to mean they realise that there's actually someone missing, so they might push the advantage in the middle there. Actually, you know, Against All Authorities all sat on a lot of gold. There's like 2,000 gold across the board there. I think
taking
they've finally
middle down as well.
Yeah, they've pushed on. You know, like you say, that's the inner turret going down as well, so they're taking great advantage of this. So main base turret down. They've taken all the inner turrets down now, and that's top inner turret as well. The base turret is only down to 600 health. So against Authority have used this Baron very well, despite the fact they've been a little bit unorthodox in case if they've not just piled straight in there. They've just completely pushed straight it across and actually used CLG's kind of tactic on them, because Shen would normally be off on the side, Hotshot GG would normally be doing the exact same thing, and kind of used it on them in their own way, and it's working out very well for them. 9-8 in kills though, CLG with a slight advantage in kills, but they are way behind in towers, 7-1, and it's all about killing that Nexus. And well, the outer turret down the bottom will finally go down for CLG.
Yeah, and they've just gone back home as well, which there was needed. They had a ton of gold on them. Another blasting one picked up there for Nidalee. Rabadon's Death Cap finished to add on to that Rod of Ages from earlier. Atma's Impaler finished by Shyvana. Already got that Frozen Malik for Cogmore. Infinity Edge plus a Phantom Dancer on Sion. There's the Deathfire Grass. Rabadon's from earlier plus an extra Amp Tome as well. So just generally the items really, really strong for against All Authority. Ezreal has now finished that Triforce as well. Riley's finished on Cassiopeia, who's actually still not died. So that's good play from Big Fat LP. But let's not forget those 3 kills came after 4 minutes and 40 seconds, I believe it was. And from there, I've not been too impressed with how he's taken that little advantage that he gained early on and made it into something bigger.
A huge advantage. Oh, cheeky Ezreal still with the ulti there on the red buff. And Soaz actually continuing to charge on towards Hotshot. He's going to back away from that. Sunfire Cape also on Hotshot there, just spotted. Linak is going to drive in the middle there. You can see the spear landed on Big Fat LP there. That means he's going to back off a little bit. He's not going to be too excited about getting his face in there for that ulti early on. But they're going to switch down to this open inhibitor, and why not? So against All Authorities going in towards a naked CLG. He might be able to catch them out, strengthens inhibitor. How does CLG fancy this one? Neither team have Baron. Linak actually using the burnout to back away from St. Vicious there. The target they really want is Chowster, who just completely got caught out. Will that poison? No, will not manage to chunk him down enough. St. Vicious though needing them spears. Them spears really start to sting in the backside there, and they are going to continue to chunk down that inhibitor. The spear game goes out wildly. Linak eating a couple of hits, but he's just not bothered about it, and will back away. They're probably going to turn their attention towards this middle lane. They need to clear it out a little bit and then drive forward with those minions. And CLG have had to regroup. This time they've got a tower to defend them though, so that will help them a little bit. Baron is not too far away either from spawning, and those spears, it's always one of the most impressive things in the game to see when those spears hit, because they just do a massive chunk of damage, especially when the AP has got at the moment.
Yeah, really insane. And when you look at the poke that they've got, obviously the living artillery, the ultimate from Cogmore, those spears coming in, they've got such great range and great damage with it as well that CLG even have trouble standing on the turret there to defend it, which is never going to be a good thing. Actually, Shyvana's just moving that minion wave forward from the top lane as well, so they're going to try to push that middle and the top lane at exactly the same time, which opened things up earlier on. They were constantly harassing this top turret, while Moma literally pushed 2 turrets and an almost the inhibitor down on the bottom as well. That is now, of course, taken out, but Linak is the one pushing forward here on top, and I think they're going to leave Linak to his devices. He's going to take this turret.
Just tried to catch out on the side there, and Linak has snuck in there, and he will take that turret down. The rest of Against All Authorities now rotating around. Will they take the advantage? Because that middle turret also down. Yellowstar has been caught out there, though. Trying his best to get onto him. You can see St. Vicious pushing on towards Mama. I think they might turn around. Wow, how did that spear miss? I've no idea. Meanwhile, Linak continues on the inhibitor. He's got to be careful. CLG are all turning back around for them. And Against All Authority just buying him time to just keep on that. And Yellowstar just wants to get in, get 1-2 shots on towards that tower. It will go down, and now they're going to dive in. St. Vicious actually caught out. St. Vicious had to use his ulti to back away. Clever crescendo goes across. Mama, though, is going to be saved by that Janna ulti. N-Rated now might be in trouble. I think Hotshot's going to flash in there, try and get the taunt on towards N-Rated. He will do. Double F pops the ulti across as well. Baron has just spawned. There might be a little chance for CLG to try and get something back from this, but the inhibitor will go down on the top lane, and Linak is now going to actually pressure on towards St. Vicious, and just keep an eye on what's going on around the map. You can see Double Lift now coming in. Double Lift is the danger man for Linak here. He's going to have to use his ulti to pounce across. You can see they're ready and waiting. They will catch him out. You know what? CLG are going to quickly counter this. They're going to have to rush for Baron. There's no way around this one, and I think Against All Authorities have just about enough to stop them, prevent them, just keep them occupied in there. They have a lot of super minions pouring into as their base shortly, certainly from that bottom lane. They've got double minion stacked there, and well, actually Against All Authorities they're going to try 3-man Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go in there. I mean, they've got the damage from Nidalee, Yellow Star, Nidalee, Cogmore, and Sion as well. Down to around about half. CLG had to defend their base, and that's one thing that I think you have to give credit to Against All Authority for. Even though they lost those men, they actually stayed fairly offensive to stop CLG pushing out of their base, and they knew that those minions were going to have to be dealt with by CLG, so that allowed them to get a free Baron with 3 alive. And unfortunately for Linac, he's not going to benefit from it, but 4 out of 5 definitely worth it for Against All Authority at this point of the game. And we're starting to see those elixirs being bought now, so with that Baron buff on as well, Against All Authority want to close out this game. We're 32 minutes into it. Things have been changing all over the place, and it's still 11-8 in kills in favour of CLG. The gold is, however, 9k in favour of Against All Authority after the Barons that they've had, after taking down a lot more turrets, the inhibitors, plus the dragons that they've had in this game as well. So whilst not quite picking up the kills, just shows that you don't always need to be ahead in kills to be winning the game.
Yeah, and the whole thing's just been about that pushing. They've literally done what CLG do to most teams. They've just turned it around. So maybe that's something new. Like, we're going to use your tactic.
Yeah, why not, actually?
Yeah, we watched you earlier. Thought it was all right against Moscow 5. It had its chances, and we're going to use that. So if you don't mind, we'll just continue pushing. So Super Minions working their way along the bottom and the top. Bottom inhibitor will be due to spawn shortly, but Linac is now clawing his way in towards the base. Oh, looks like someone got caught out. It was St. Vicious, had to use his ulti. Shen, I think ulti, no, it wasn't actually used. Yes, it was. Shen ulti did come in there, so double ultis used up there forcefully, and Shen is now going to have to back away from that one. Big Fat LP needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out by a death gaze there, sorry, a cryptic gaze, that's the word I'm after. Pretty much would be a death gaze, yeah, it would be if you get caught out. So all inhibitors now down for CLG, and Against All Authority driving home their advantage. Remember, this is a best of 3. This is just the first game in the series. It is 34 minutes in, so it's actually been a fairly long drawn-out effort, considering Against All Authorities have really had a bit of an advantage for the last 5 or 10 minutes. And actually, those spears coming in, you can see they're not doing a great deal on Hotshot anymore. He's quite defensive against those. I'm not sure they've got the Baron. They're just going to wait for these stacks because they're still feeling that actually if they push against these double Nexus turrets, it might hurt them a little bit here.
Yeah, they need to be a little bit careful. I mean, those super minions that are coming in as well are going to really be helping them out. Another, that bottom inhibitor is going to be taken again. It seems as though Hotshot's a bit of a spear magnet at the moment, which, as you mentioned, is like the least effective. There goes a flash. Ulti goes across from pretty much everyone in Yellow Star. Is going to explode, but when he pops his passive there, he will probably do enough to make aAa think we can stick around for this. More of those spears going across, and well, CLG really having to focus on super minions. They're all over the place in that base. Yeah, 2 Nexus turrets are slowly regenning. The bottom one around about half HP, but Against All Authority, they don't want to get caught out. They can't afford to let this one go now.
Yeah, and they've had to back away from it. You can see they're going up towards the blue there, and they've, despite the fact they've had Baron, that's what they were worried about. So they got caught out by a good little CLG counter strat there. Quick crescendo followed by all the damage. So quick reactions from CLG there. Obviously he was disgusted. He's like, right, I'm going to do this at any second now, and then they all just launched for it, and immediately Double List launched his ulti straight across them as soon as they got caught out. So it's working very well at CLG's favour. Remember, CLG are actually sitting and getting a lot of farm while these super minions keep coming down. So, Against All Authority, despite the fact they have got the 3 inhibitors down, they could easily continue to drive forward. And they are giving CLG a lot of farm, like I mentioned, but the gold difference is still pretty huge. It is only 8k, but and it is only 12-8. It is possible to turn this around. It will be very, very hard, but you can see Hotshot, those spears are not doing a great deal of damage to them, and actually they seem to be throwing at him. Like you said, it's a spear magnet. Big Fat LP is kind of the one they want in double lift, but they're unable to get past Mundo and Hotshot at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, Hotshot actually up to 200 magic resist, so those spears having a bit of a hard time getting through. But we are now seeing Against All Authority start to work in. Baron is gone. St. Vicious being pressured by Linac, but that top inhibitor is back up, and probably the next focus for Against All Authority. More elixirs coming onto Yellow Star now that he's back into the battle. Actually got some magic resist of his own as well. Doesn't want to be getting caught out by Big Fat LP, who is still sat on those 3 kills which he had in the early game. And when I saw that happen, I really expected Big Fat LP to go massive in this game, and it just hasn't quite worked out for them. More spears coming in, super minions hammering away on that inhibitor as well. and it will go down here momentarily, possibly. It should have. I'm surprised they didn't stick around for that. But you know, as we almost hit the 40-minute mark, it's very, very touch and go for Against All Authority. They're still, I think, not so keen on taking a big team fight. They don't feel 100% confident with the position that they're in. They may just take this top turret down. Hotshot actually will get focused. In comes a Howling Gale. Ultimate from Shortster didn't really do all that much. Exhaust went on to Yellow Star as well, who's knocked down to around about half HP. But CLG have done a decent job of, you know, wounding Against All Authority and trying to force them away. They're going to dive in onto Yellow Star. Ultimate did come off from Janna. Won't be enough to save them. And there goes Cogmore into the pack. Linak will fall as well. Moma is playing dangerous in there. He goes down after getting a kill of his own. And, well, 3 for 1 in favor of CLG. They're 15-9 ahead in the kills. And still they're hanging on. And I can't believe that these Nexus turrets haven't actually died. Bottom one, surely. Oh, he's pulled the Super Minion off it. One more hit and it would have gone down. Oh, Hotshot almost caught out. But still, they're hanging on. And really hanging on.
really, really hanging on. Yeah, they're just trying to keep them away, and Soaz is keeping them busy here with those spears coming in. But it was all about Big Fat LP's ulti there. Actually managed to catch a couple of them in it as soon as they went in there, which is what turned CLG to charge straight in there. But Soaz is quite happy to keep these super minions going. N-rated is going to back away, so I guess we're going to see yet another delay here for Against All Authority. They are going to respawning in a second. Everybody's ported back. And they're going to wait yet again. But those these Nexus turrets, they do regenerate health, and they didn't quite go down. They were down to 30 hit points. And I tell you what, Chowster can't tank that super minion for too long. Just about hanging on in there. And the rest of the team have respawned, so they're going to keep farming. And you can see the gold difference is actually starting to claw back now. It's down to 5k. It was 8k earlier. They're slowly but surely starting to get those gold back. And the inhibitor has respawned, so they're going to try and protect that. But Against All Authority have only lost 1 tower. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, 1 tower down. Baron is actually there. Linak already starting it off. And again, CLG too preoccupied with getting these super minions away. They're rolling in their pairs at this point. And that's making it very, very difficult for CLG to actually extend themselves and defend against this Baron, which has now been finished off by Against All Authority. Pretty much everyone getting up to their end game builds now as well. And we finally see a Banshee's Veil finished on double lift, because I think those spears are half HP deals by this stage of it, especially with that Baron buff on. And we are going to see the push in. Oh, Crescendo actually missed the entire pack. And that's not going to be good news yet. Nearly 609 AP with that Baron buff on.
That was well spotted by Janna, popping the Shirelli's Reverie just at the right time to get away from that Crescendo, which is what managed to cause the defense there. You can see St. Vicious being targeted again here. Yellow Star quite happily burning him down there, and now they're going to switch their attention to that inhibitor. You can see the middle inhibitor also got Linak poking towards it. Bottom inhib goes back down, middle inhib goes back down. CLG surely going to get forced in as the minions do take down that top Nexus turret. Now just 1 turret remaining. The Against All Authorities won't think twice to dive in. Crescendo's not up, it's not half as scary. Big Fat LP's the only man with the ulti that can really cause them any issues. They do manage to go in there, and you can see the Cryptic Gaze was used on Hotshot. I'm not too sure why they keep doing that. Double lift needs to get the Banshee's Veil burned, and there it goes. Just for that next super minion wave that comes in, they're going to go straight towards that Nexus. But CLG just hanging on. I can't believe how long this game has gone on since they've took down these turrets. They're just drawing it out. I mean, Soaz, if he just actually threw a couple of spears at that turret along with Yellow Star, would take it down in seconds. It's only 1,000 hit points. If they actually did it, I think Soaz is purposely drawing this one out. I've got to be honest.
He wants to get up to 1,000 AP.
Yeah, Shirelli is Revi used. They did manage to get towards Yellow Star there, but Len-rated using a good ulti to back them out. St. Vicious now caught out. Spear goes in. St. Vicious will go down. Linak, meanwhile, drawing the entire CLG team away, and you can see Hotshot diving in towards Yellow Star. It's not going to happen, though. He quite happily gets away. Moma was caught out by Big Fat LP's ulti. Does finally get taken down. That turret still got minions going towards it, but now they're Against All Authority having to back away again. I can't believe Linak continues to do this split push. They really want to use this tactic on them. Big Fat LP caught out there, will get caught out, and there was the killing spree coming out from Soaz. They finally take the Nexus turret down, and the Nexus will follow. Well, they sure drew that one out Against All Authority, but you know what? They won it about 23 minutes ago, but they managed to hang on there for a while there, so just seeing how the CLG tactic works.
Yeah, and why not copy them, play them in a mirror match of styles at least, and it seemed to work very nicely. And against All Authority, I think that they are really, really happy with how that game went. Let's think our minds back to around about 38 minutes ago, which seems ridiculous. When we saw that initial triple kill from Big Fat LP in the middle with Cassiopeia, when literally every summoner spell was burnt except those guys up on the top, and that's when CLG looked to have got off to a dream start. I mean, a start doesn't get much better than that at such an early stage, but from there on, Big Fat LP wasn't able to push that advantage that he gained into something that had helped them in the mid and late game.
And it's because Sion's a great counter really to Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. He couldn't force the kills there. But you know what? I don't know. It's a little hard to call. But anyway, we're going to have a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back shortly. Don't forget, this is a best of 3 series.
Don't go anywhere.
Back in a few moments.
Intel Extreme Masters.
Da seid ihr alle hier vorne wieder fleißig versammelt. Es gibt wieder T-Shirts. Ich habe wieder 100 Stück noch zusätzlich bekommen, was wir natürlich hier alles rausschmeißen wollen von unseren Freunden von Wargaming. Und zeigt mal die Hände hier. Wer möchte T-Shirts? Möchte da hinten auch noch jemand T-Shirts? Ich sehe schon. So, wo ist es denn lauter? Hier auf der linken Seite? Oder auf der rechten Seite? Oh, ihr wart laut, ihr wart laut. Einmal ein T-Shirt für euch. Ich habe hier so viele T-Shirts. Ich habe über 100, 150. Hier, Alex, wie viele sind es? 150? 100, 150 T-Shirts. Wie viele sind das? So, wer möchte ein T-Shirt? Die sind immer noch lauter. So, Freunde. Linke Seite, was mit euch? Ich vergesse euch da außen auf gar keinen Fall. Bitteschön. Ich habe einen Laptop zu vergeben. Wer möchte einen Laptop haben? Folgendermaßen, unsere Freunde von Wargaming haben uns ein dickes Alienware-Laptop mitgebracht. Ja, wer möchte einen Alienware-Laptop haben? Hier, seht ihr da oben, wer will einen Laptop haben da? Seht ihr das? Ja, ja. So, rechte Seite, wollt ihr einen Laptop haben? Linke Seite, wollt ihr einen Laptop haben? Was mit euch in der Mitte? Oh, da muss ich schnell noch ein paar Shirts raushauen und dann suche ich mir da gleich mal 2 Leute raus, die hier mitspielen dürfen. Oh, Alex, du bist so nett. Ganz hinten. Wollt ihr auch T-Shirts? Nimm mal die Arme hoch, da ganz hinten. Oh, Achtung, Achtung. Oh, Arme raus. Hier, die ganz hinten. Da hinten, hallo. Will da hinten auch wer? Einmal Hand hoch. Genau so ist es. Danke, Alex. Hier vorne natürlich. Hier vorne, hier vorne, hier vorne. Einmal da drüben, wunderbar, wunderbar. Freunde, ein bisschen Lärm jetzt hier. Wollt ihr T-Shirts haben oder was? Oh, einmal da. So, pass auf. Ich habe jetzt hier, wie viel sind das, Alex? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, pass auf. Ich schmeiß 10 Stück auf einmal raus. Ja, nämlich alle in die Hand. Und das geht dahin, ja, das geht dahin, wo es am lautesten ist. Und wir schreien auf 3. Oh, sind die geil. Ihr seid alle so geil. Da, wo am lautesten Wargaming geschrieben wird. Ja, da geht hier so ein kompletter Schlag an T-Shirts hin. Mitte, links, rechts, so machen wir das. Ich fange mit der rechten Seite hier an. Ja, Wargaming auf 3, so laut es geht. 1, 2, 3! Ja, das war mehr als Wargaming. Mal gucken, ob ihr das besser könnt. In der Mitte, seid ihr bereit? 1, 2, 3! Wargaming auf der linken Seite. Freunde, die Schreddelle, du hast hier eine gute Chance. Wenn ich jetzt hier Wargaming höre, und zwar ganz laut, dann kriegt ihr die T-Shirts. Seid ihr bereit? 1, 2, 3! Oh, und nochmal alle zusammen. 1, 2, 3! Rechte Seite Wargaming. Ihr wisst, wie es funktioniert. Hier, bitte, einmal hoch. Ah, komm, da gibt's ja mehr. Alex, du musst auseinander machen. Alex, hier, ihr seid so laut. Ihr rückt ja. Oh, da ruft jemand meinen Namen. Wo war denn das denn? Da hinten. Oh, nicht schlecht. Hier die zweite und dritte und vierte und fünfte Reihe. Nimm mal die Hände hoch. Hier, zeig doch mal. Jetzt winkt mal alle. Oh, das ist schön. Hier, guck mal. Seht ihr den Kran da oben? Diese lange Stange. Guck mal, da ist eine Kamera. Dreh dich mal um. Dreh dich mal zur Kamera, ja? Ja, nimm mal die Hände hoch. Ja, die Hände hoch. Ja, jetzt winkt er zur Kamera hoch, zur Krankamera. Aber zur Kamera hochwinken. Sehr schön, ihr macht das super. Ja, für euch natürlich auch. So, einmal hier drüben. Ja, wollt ihr noch ein paar T-Shirts? Oh, ihr seid laut, die linke Seite. Was ist denn hier mit Außen? Habt ihr hier auch was? Ja, wow, so viele T-Shirts. Boah, ist das schön. So, ja, komm, ich habe hier noch ein paar und dann... Komm, machen wir gleich. Wir haben ja noch T-Shirts. So, ich brauche 2 Leute. Wer möchte Laptop gewinnen? Hier, wer hat Bock auf Anywhere Laptop? Ja, Intel i7 Prozessor, SSD-Festplatte. Wir haben da eine Radeon drin, eine HD 6990. Sogar 8 GB Arbeitsspeicher. Will keiner Laptop haben hier? Wer möchte Laptop? Hier? Oh. Okay. Ist okay. Einen nehme ich hier vorne auf die Bühne. Wer will mitmachen hier? Wer? Ja, hier. Komm. Ja, genau. Ja. Komm du mal durch. Hier, lass den Jungen mal durch. Wir brauchen natürlich noch einen zweiten. So, komm erst mal hoch. Bitte schön, stell dich mal in die Mitte. Ich suche noch einen zweiten Kandidaten hier. Was ist denn los? Was ist denn mit euch da hinten? Möchtest du da hinten irgendjemand einen Laptop haben? Hier, wer? Da hinten, du willst einen Laptop haben? Ja, du? Ja, komm mal durch. Lauf mal schnell durch, gib mal Gas. Lass den jungen Mann noch mal durch. Nee, den meine ich gar nicht. Ich meine den anderen Kollegen. Alex, gib mir doch mal ein T-Shirt. Tut mir leid. Er ist schon okay, aber T-Shirt für dich, tut mir leid. Aber kein Applaus für ihn, bitte. Ja, komm, fairerweise. So, komm hoch. Mensch, jetzt hat sich der andere angesprochen gefühlt. Hoppala. So, einmal hin mit. Einmal einen großen Applaus für die beiden Jungs hier auf der Bühne. Wie ist dein Name?
Cian.
Bitte?
Cian.
Wie ist dein Name?
Steffen.
Es ist relativ einfach. Wir haben jetzt kein Bild, sondern jetzt hört ihr gleich eine Melodie. Ja, ein Song, eine Melodie und ihr müsst erraten, was es ist. Schreit es raus, sobald ihr es wisst. Konzentriert euch. Fokus jetzt auf die Boxen. Und liebe Regie, den Sound bitte. Ja, richtig, Super Mario. Großer Applaus aber für ihn. Alex, hast du noch ein T-Shirt einmal für ihn? So, das ist aber für dich. Dankeschön, großer Applaus erstmal für dich. Und du bist der große Gewinner. Du darfst mit dem Alex jetzt gleich hinter die Bühne gehen. Und dann macht ihr alles weitere Formalitäten, damit du deinen Laptop nämlich schön nach Hause kriegst. Hier, das tolle Ding, das wirst du nach Hause kriegen. Freust du dich?
Jo, richtig.
Hast du schon mal einen Laptop gewonnen?
Nein.
Also, vielen Dank. Auch nochmal an Wargaming. Komm, Wargaming, die sponsert das. Ich würde mal sagen, schrei mal so laut du kannst. Wargaming. Nochmal.
Wargaming.
Applaus einmal für den jungen Mann. Ich bedanke mich, Freunde. Wir sehen uns später wieder. Es geht jetzt weiter hier mit League of Legends. Ich hoffe, ihr habt heute noch viel Spaß. Ansonsten sehen wir uns morgen wieder. Bis dann.
So, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship at the CeBIT in Hanover, and we are going to move into the second game, even though it feels like we've had about 5 already.
It was a long
took
one
to finish.
Yeah.
Of the third, fourth place playoff, and you know, 3.8k for the fourth place, the loser, unfortunately for them, of this game, and $8,000 for third place. So, you know, a lot on the line from this one. We heard from Against All Authority before the game. They want to try something new, which actually turned out to be, in my opinion, something old, a.k.a. just copy them.
Maybe that was their cunning tactic. It's like, we're going to copy your tactic and beat you with it, because that's what they did. Whether they're going to switch things up in this one, I do not know. But what we do have, look at that, there's the player. So there's Yellow Star, you know, actually looking pretty happy. He normally looks pretty happy, to be fair.
Except yesterday, after that second map against
he was raging,
SK.
and then he went on a mission. But, and there's Linek, he never looks happy. So, to be fair.
He could win the lottery and his face would still be like, oh, I'm kind of sad today.
Kind of sad today.
Yeah, well, CLG, I don't know. It's a long day for these guys as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they were here around about 7:45 or so, 8 o'clock this morning.
They were here from the very beginning.
They've played their semi-final, you know, two-mapper, a fairly long two-mapper, actually, for what it was, against Moscow 5. They'd waited up until that point as well to get ready. Now they're into another best of 3, so a pretty long day for these guys. And now it can take its toll on you, this kind of thing, which I guess a lot of people don't realize at home, how kind of
how long these days can be,
how long these games can be, these days can be, and also how kind of mentally straining they are on the players.
I believe it's mental dexterity was the word you were looking for.
Mentally straining.
Were you asleep in the conversation this morning? We had to get mental dexterity into the cast somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You managed it.
I believe somewhere in StarCraft it was in there, and Counter-Strike you were meant to do it as well, but I don't know whether you did it. Did Paul do it?
I'm not sure if I was still asleep when this conversation actually happened. I don't remember anything about it. But it seems like we've got all 10 players in the game. We had that little bit of a break so the players could, you know, head off to the toilet. It is pretty full here at the CB, which you know, if you're already sat in the crowd. I know some of you were sat on the floor during the first game even. It was that full in here. And it takes a while to get across the hall to, you know, take your break, so to speak, and get yourself back, which is why we had the little raffle there on stage as well. I'm just wondering if you've got all the commentators ready. I'll just say that Joe and Demon.
Yeah, you tell them ready. But looking like the players are ready, there's Dave in the background. You can see they're the admins. They keep things running, and they've done a fantastic job in this event. You know, there's not really been any problems. The only problem with the Dignitas had a problem with the monitor that got swapped straight out. There was a problem with one of the clients for N-Rated earlier. That got sorted straight out. You saw the Riot guys were already up there, and it's great that the Riot are on site here. You know, they've brought many staff with them. Any problems at all have been sorted, and really it's been a very well-run tournament throughout. We've not had any big issues at all throughout it, and it's great to see. So we're going into the picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Aurelia being banned out straight away, and Shen taken out of there. I think they just forgot to ban him in the first game, you know. I think, we forgot him.
They should be used to it by now. I mean, this is day 4 of the tournament. Let's not beat around the bush with that one. Rai's going to be the second ban for Against All Authority, and I wonder if CLG, you know, we heard Hotshot say, we're just going to play our game. But now that they realise that Against All Authority know their game and are quite adept, it seems, at using it against them, whether they'll change things up and take a bit of a risk in this second place game, because it can be worth it. Of course, it can go totally wrong and you get bombed out and into 4th position, which is going to cost you basically $4,000.
Yeah, which is not great.
$4,200, actually.
If you want to be precise, yeah. Which is not that nice to lose that much money. You know, and there's a lot of pride at stake as well for 3rd place. You know, it is.
Top 3.
I guess we could go down to the depths and say it's America versus Europe, which the finals technically will be as well. So there's a bit of national pride on the line, I guess you could say. The French and Germans being represented, at least in terms of Europe, obviously US and Canada being represented, so it's not really, say, it's North America sort of everything that there. But anyway, Dr. Mundo has been banned out, and Nidalee banned out by CLG. I don't think I'd ever see that.
You would never ever see that on a normal day, would you? I mean, Nidalee's been left open for quite a while now. It's like Hotshot's old champion.
I'm over him.
It's like, I don't like her anymore. But that spear in the last game was just causing all kinds of problems, mainly to Hotshot, actually, who was the spear magnet, which is kind of ironic, since he's probably the most famous Nidalee player in the entire world anyway. CLG going for their first picks, looking like Janna will be obviously played in the last game by Against All Authority by N-Rated down there. Had a good Warwick. Okay, so Janna is there, and then Volibear possibly for CLG. Let's see what they go for. Maybe Ezreal, maybe they'll go back to Volibear, who knows. So Ezreal, that's what we saw Doublelift going with. A great Ezreal player. We don't even need to say that. Really famous for his Ezreal play as well. And Janna did get eventually locked in on the bottom lane, which is what we saw against All Authority playing in the last game. So let's see what they'll add on top of Udyr again. Banned in the first game. Udyr being played a lot by St. Vicious this time in this tournament. So not really surprised to see Udyr banned out in the last game and insta-locked in this one against All Authority, really wanting him. Yeah, definitely. I guess he's probably... He could be top lane or jungle. Corki, of course, being picked up. Are we going to see Leona going with him? That's the question. Will Enrated say, you know what, I want my combo. It worked out very well. I'm not too sure whether it worked so well against Ezreal. He's a slippery little sucker. He's a slippery chap. Down, but I guess it's possible. And no, he's going to go Taric. He prefers the actual full lockdown. That stops him slipping out. That stops him slipping out, indeed. So that prefers to keep him where he is. Or it could be, well, I mean, Soda's actually not a bad pick. We saw, obviously, Soaz in the last game, those crescendos actually did turn one of the fights for them. CLG managed to pull off a good fight. That flash crescendo followed up by the Ezreal ulti worked out very well for them. This time around, it is going to go with Against All Authorities, though. And it's interesting, you know, the Soaz is sort of, they're not too sure about it still. You know, since the nerf, they're like, okay, yeah. And actually, you know, I remember seeing the X Special did his little piece, and he was like, actually, after looking at the numbers, I kind of see why they nerfed it. Yeah, it's like, really? It was, I mean, throughout Kiev was basically the first pick, and when there's a support being the first pick, there's probably an issue with him, or her, I guess, in this case. So CLG going to pick up their next two. I guess it's going to be the jungler, and I would suggest the top lane. I don't think they're going to go with the AP, but they never know. They do lock it in early. Are we going to see that Zilean? Now we're going to see Maokai. That's actually pretty good. Oh, and Ari, of course. That's what another hero that's played quite well. Didn't work out so well for him. I think it was against Moscow 5, I believe. First game. I think it was the first game. Yeah, didn't work out so well in that one. But Maokai is a good pick, which is going to mean they're going to need a slightly more mobile hero in the ability for Against All Authorities. Wondering who that's going to be. I was actually really happy to see Veigar in this tournament as well. Nijaki running Veigar for Team Curse actually played very well, and it was literally protect Veigar or we lose at one point. And they didn't protect him and he lost, which is not so great. But Against All Authorities is going to make their final two picks. It will be the top lane or could be a jungler. Karthus left open. Karthus left open, and there's going to be Lee Singer coming out. I must have missed this joke. You were at the event. It was DreamHack. You probably missed the interviews. I can't go into the rest of the words for it because there was a bit of swearing involved. But Lee Singer, hotshot, Nidalee GG, kicked my brother in the ass, I believe was the exact person. It was the Chinese team at DreamHack Season 1. Everybody else knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, just lost the new joke. Or something. It's been a long time since then, actually. So, final pick coming out for CLG to move swiftly on. When I'm not included, I want to talk about it. So, we've got the bottom lane sorted. Ari for mid. We've got Maokai there for the jungle. Who is going to go top lane against the Man-Bear Pig? That is the big question. Who is going to go top against the Man-Bear Pig? Irelia's out. Bearing in mind, it could be Lee Sin at the top there. Obviously, we heard about Hotshot talking about Lee Sin, saying about Voidboy. It's like, wow, he just showed everyone how to play Lee Sin. I need to learn to play it that way. Obviously not going to do it in this game. Oh, it could be Olaf, of course. Yeah, that's actually something that Hotshot has been playing a bit online, and looks like it will be. So it could well be Olaf along the top there. So Hotshot going back to one of his heroes he's been using quite a lot in solo queues. Yeah, and while we've got a little bit of time here, 1 minute, we have something else that we need to let you guys know about. The most valuable player that in the other iterations, the I carried whatever stop it was vote. It's actually been changed around this time. Oh God, smite yourself in the face. So I carried today a big. You can probably guess who designed this one. Yeah. And the vote will be going up on intelextrememasters.com. Up at the top side, you can click on MVP, and I believe the vote will be up tonight after the tournament. The ironic thing is, Skara could end up actually taking this. He could end up taking it.
And it would be funny if he did. But I've got to be honest, I think Voyboy's up there in big contention for this one at the moment, as well as a number of members from Moscow 5. But I'm a Cutie Pie as well, has been carrying pretty hard for his team in Dignitas. And you've got to assume that it's going to be one of the players in the final. Like you say, the voting will be going up tomorrow, so we're not going for it just yet. But that will be what they're going to win. Obviously, there's a lot of goodies that come with us as well.
Yeah, they're going to win an Intel Core i7 Extreme Edition processor, the official processor of the Intel Extreme Masters. One of these lovely BenQ monitors, which you can just about see, obviously, what the players are playing with. Plus, a peripheral package from our friends over at Razer as well. So plenty of cool stuff to be added on top of what's actually the coolest part of it.
It is.
There's only one of these in the world.
Well, there is only one of these in the world, and it's got to go to Skara, hasn't it?
It's got to, actually.
But anyway, nevertheless, we are going to be going into the game, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be CLG versus Against All Authorities. I'm not going to drop it on the floor, don't worry. It's going on my lap. There we go.
Keep you warm.
Keep me warm.
Not that it's cold in here, actually. It's picked up in temperature, let's say.
Picked up in
temperature.
So,
now that we've seen the picks and bans, what do you think to these
you're going to throw
two
it to me
lineups?
this time, are you?
What do we reckon?
What do we reckon? Well, I think Against All Authorities have got a very good lineup here, and I'm not too sure CLG are going to be able to pull this one through. They have gone with heroes that they're feeling pretty comfortable, and you can see they've immediately resorted back to the Olaf, etc. But MoMA on Karthus could well be the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the game. Who do you want to win? It's going to be CLG versus Against All Authorities.
So we're into it then. Let's see how this level 1 is going to shape up. Actually, Linak legging it straight down south. And he's going to be going straight in towards this Tribus Lee Sin. And Corky will be joining him. Karthus up on the top side in that, but pretty isolated there. If he happened to get caught out, that could have been bad news. N-Rated was there with him, and it looks like they're going to go and take a peek at the CLG Blue. Very aggressive early on from Against All Authority. You know, they've got a little bit of smacking power at this very early level, so they'll be able to bully CLG around a little bit, actually.
Yeah, they are very strong at level 1, and it would be... This is probably why they went aggressive. Then they realised they got spotted, and was like, yeah, it's probably not going to work out. We're not really in a position for a full-on 5v5 fight. And Hotshot actually was pulled all the way down, so the entire CLG team have had to react to this, come down and try and get the blue. And meanwhile, they're saying, yeah, we'll just go around and get our own blue, but just don't show yourself because we've made them look daft and they've had to pull back. Double if thinking about porting back. Is he going to get an extra pot? I think he might do. And they've realised that blue is now cleared, and Hotshot's like, great, now I've got to go all the way back. Thanks for that, guys. Really making me walk. Linux going to be starting at Wraiths, in fact, so he's going to just pull that one away. Against All Authorities, as a 4, though, going to help pull these Wraiths away. So they're going to help him do something quite quick here, so maybe expect to see Linux going for something a little bit crazy. Whether he's going to go for an early invade, I'm not too sure. Whether he'll counter across, he will go for the red buff now. I guess it would make sense to follow on round. It's going to spawn any second now. Sooner or later. Meanwhile, you can see that CLG have had to go across and help out St. Vicious actually on the blue buff. He would have normally started on Wraiths, I believe, in looking towards his build. Yeah, he would have started on Wraiths normally, but he's had to change that up, and he has started over on blue. It doesn't really matter much, but obviously Wraith start always helps get their levels up early.
Yeah, Linak actually taking the entire bottom side of the jungle away, just finishing off these golems with a little bit of help from N-Rated right at the start. Then he's going to head towards that top side. But look at the old switcheroo that we've got in at this point. MoMA actually up top with Brolaf, obviously played by Hotshot GG. Middle currently is going to be Lee Sin versus Ari in middle. Now, very interesting to see how this all shapes up, Demon. That switching that's gone on. I wonder if we'll see Big Fight LP come down. I'd imagine that he's a little bit worried about facing Lee Sin in mid.
I'm not too sure. I'm interested to see how this one's going to work out. It's obviously using the live steal, etc., to hang around there. But Big Fat LP has a lot of range over him. But
yeah, that's the truth.
As has been proven many times, Lee Sin isn't that bad a hero, especially by Voyboy earlier on today. He was incredible. You can see the blue buff now being taken away by Linak. I wonder if Karthus is going to come down and pick that up. No, he's just going to let Linak have that one early on. And St. Vicious is also taking away the reds, mites it down, comes across, waits for the Wraiths to respawn, sets up his little saplings. Meanwhile, down the bottom, it is a standard lane between these two. Obviously, we saw a bit of lane switching from Moscow 5 earlier on. Linak is actually going to going towards St. Vicious. St. Vicious is actually pretty low here. He's going to maybe go for catch him out. He does manage to get the stun. I don't think he's going to lay down enough damage. He does switch to Phoenix stance, but yeah, it forces him away. Actually, no jungle for Linac to steal away from this one. He may come around the back side of Hotshot GG, though. Yeah, he's going to get away from that one. And back to normality for them. Lee Sin going for a little walkabout here as well. Are they heading up for a big gank on towards Hotshot GG? He's not backed away yet. We're going Moscow 5 style here. We're going to have a 3-man dive on towards the tower. Can they tank it around? No, because Hotshot GG managed to avoid the damage very well there, and Soaz has just wasted his time coming down there. Eats the axe in the back.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Hotshot does up in this top lane. Currently, in terms of the CS, 19 to 22, and he was actually keeping Momo right at the back, which, you know, Karthus doesn't mind being a little bit further away. With those layaways, he can keep himself out of it. Meanwhile, in middle, Soaz is currently 21 to the 22, so doing a good job of moving in there. Top gank is going to come in again. Stun goes on to Hotshot, who actually returns that damage onto Linac very early, obviously with the reckless swing. And Hotshot feeling or looking very confident actually on Olaf at this point. Meanwhile, in middle, we are going to see the diving onto Soaz, who will dash his way out onto that turret. Only got 150 health after that, has got pots, and we will see St. Vicious trying to steal away a little bit of jungle. Needs to be careful though, because Linac will start to work his way down. Soaz is there in the brush as well, but they'll notice St. Vicious has been and gone. As the pings come down, Corki may come up as well, and this could be dangerous for St. Vicious. We saw him use his flash earlier on, and he could find himself getting caught out. Exhaust will go in onto St. Vicious. This is going to be a big 4-man gank coming down onto Maokai, who's now got the Ignite burning. Yellow Star will get first blood, and to be honest, it couldn't have gone any better there for Against All Authority. Great start.
Yeah, and just before that happened, they'd also forced double lift down the bottom, so they'd done a lot of damage to him, so he'd been forced to back away from that one, had to use a health pot to try and get up. Meanwhile, you can see Momo actually being dived by Hotshot GG there, nearly been taken out as well. He was taken very low, but like you say, it was a very good first blood. Couldn't work out better this time. And, well, problem is, we've seen Yellow Star get a 2-0 lead very early on from the word going a level 1 fight earlier today and still lose the lane. So he's got a feel he's got a bit to prove today, despite the fact he had an awesome day yesterday. You know, it can be different. The nerves can tell. Like you said earlier when you were on there, it is a big stage. It is a very nervy experience. And obviously after losing the semi-finals, but they will be feeling very confident after the last game.
Yeah, really, they played CLG at their own game, and it's worked out nicely for them. Meanwhile, Hotshot having his lane pushed fairly heavily. Maokai is going to come and sniff around. No wards down currently for Momo. Obviously not being back just yet, just has the boots, and he could find himself in a little bit of trouble. Actually, they've spotted that one coming. He put the wall of pain down, but they're going to dive anyway. St. Vicious against the turret, and he's actually going to take the tower hits. He's going to go down. That was great. Is it a double kill? Yes, it is, from Momo, and that was amazingly done. Demon, correct me if I'm wrong, but that really was just pure feelings.
Yeah, he knew
there
it
was
was
no
coming.
ward there, and he stuck the wall of pain down, and wow, great stuff. And the flash, actually, you know, Maokai was drawn under the turret from that flash.
Yeah.
That was just superb from
And
Momo.
I think that was reactionary. He knew that Maokai was about to dive, and he waited for the graphic just to start, the animation, and then flashed, and which knew he damn well he was going to pull it straight in towards the turret. And obviously, he pulled the layways and the defile straight down on him. Big Fat LP pressuring on towards Soaz, but Soaz is already looking pretty strong in the middle there. You can see he's got the double Dorans though. Big Fat LP has gone back, got double Dorans rings, as opposed to the blades that Lee Sin's got. But I wonder if Big Fat LP's ever had to come against the Lee Sin in the middle. I guess you do get some weird troll games, so it's possible. Ping goes down. They can see St. Vicious over on the Golem there, and immediately actually use Smite up. Oh, it's stolen! Stolen by Enrated there. Very, very
Insane.
good.
How incredibly low does it have to be for Sona to come in and steal a blue like that? That was incredible. And that's going to give them a dragon, and CLG just like, well, it's not going too well for us right now, is it? They're feeling a little bit of pressure, I should imagine, and actually they're moving in towards this middle area. Yellow Star working his way behind. Enrated going up. Momo will have come down here as well. Needs to be careful though, because Hotshot has got a big minion wave with him as well. Decides to back away from that one. Doesn't want to be getting caught out, which rightly so. But no real problems at that point. Actually, when Momo went back, did build up Catalyst to protect her. So well up to starting off Rod of Ages, I guess. At this point, triple Doran's Blade on Corki as well, compared to double Doran's plus the Vampiric Scepter on double lift. The CS there is 69 to 52, so actually double lift doing a great job with that CS in bottom lane. And Yellow Star, will that cause him a few problems going forward? He is 1-0-0 compared to, well, zeros across the board from Ezreal, which gives him that extra Doran's Blade. Meanwhile, Hotshot has come down into the middle as well. Moma has just been gifted that blue, and he's going to go back up top, and it looks like we are going to see that switch coming in, Demon. Ari is now moving into the top lane.
Yeah, and Linak harassing Hotshot. Hotshot just got that wriggles as well. Soaz returns back to middle, like you say, but it's Soaz that actually started off that blue buff and gave it to Moma. So playing well as a cohesive unit here. And Linak now freed up to just go looking and try and pick up a few things. You can see he got spot on the raid, so he's going to try and maybe sneak in and smite it. Will actually, no, yes he does. He goes in and sneakily smites on towards Large Wraith and steals that away from him. So taking away everything from CLG at the moment in their own jungle. Yellow Star going in towards double his face there. Really not a very aggressive crescendo used up there. That's going to get cleansed off. Continues to pop the ultis. Yellow Star will take a couple of shots in the face. Has got a minion wave as well, pushing towards it. The Karthus ulti went off there as well. Wasn't enough to take him down. Ezreal turns around, pops that ulti, clears the wave, and forces Against Authority away from that turret. Meanwhile, Soaz is pressuring Hotshot, and we have a pause in the game. And wow, I broke the curse. Daniels and Klein normally gets all the pauses. This is the first one for me at this event.
Yeah, I've only seen one when I've been watching as well, so maybe it's my my unluck that's coming into this one. I'm not sure what's actually happening, but I'm sure the admins are there on stage. In fact, I can see Dave just under the S of Masters walking across there.
Yeah.
I've got good eyes with this screen here. So that should be hopefully fixed in just a moment or two. Well, let's have a look at the game, how it is now. 3-1 in favour of Against Authority. We've just seen them take the Dragon. Actually, the blue was stolen as well. Somehow by Sona. That was great timing from Sona. 13.8 to 11.8k gold, so a 2,000 gold difference at that point. In terms of the kills, 2-1-0 from Moma. Of course, he got that double kill, lovely flash to bring Maokai right under the turret, and then, well, unfortunately for Hotshot, he was just a little bit too close at the same time. But anyway, we are going to get back into it. Seemingly a perfect time as well. Linak is there. Big Fat LP was covering St. Vicious off.
Big Fat LP had to steal away the golem there as well from St. Vicious, because he knew it was going to get stolen by Linak. Just one little hit. Lee Sin also came up to help him out there. But if they're going to try and get around the backside and maybe do a triple gank on towards Big Fat LP, Moma is putting the pressure on him. And here they go. You can see they've shown their hand early, and I think Big Fat LP is going to try and have to bait this one around. He has got a pretty good ulti. This time he's actually dashing. Well, I'm not too sure he's going to try and bait them around. Does use the flash as well, but Soaz straight on towards him. Big Fat LP will go down. Soaz will take a death in the middle, though, and that will be worth it. But will they get the tower? And meanwhile, Hotshot GG beats away on this middle turret. They are going to possibly put a bit of damage. Actually, Moma, I'm just trying to keep my eyes teleported back, so they're not going to pressure on that turret. Linak will just take the wave, though.
Yeah, Hotshot, though, continuing to beat down. He's got the 3 caster minions, plus the melee minion. Will he go back? Actually decided to almost. I think he could be almost finished with this one by the time that minion wave runs out. Will take 1 tower hit, but certainly worth it. Great job from Hotshot, knowing that they weren't going to do anything with that turret being dove at the top. Moma decided to port home in the midst of it as well, and we are going to see the lane switching back around with Moma coming into the middle. Lee Sin, he's headed middle as well, but I assume will end up going top. And there goes the wall of pain. Hotshot just dodging those 2 lay waves perfectly. There's the 3rd dodge, caught eventually by the 4th one that was put down, but still great stuff from Hotshot with that Olaf. Does take some damage from Soaz. St. Vicious will come over to cover as well, and this is going to give Ari a little bit of farm up in this top as well, if he wants it. No, feels like they need to come around and cover middle. Hotshot is going to portal home. Moma is now headed up top as well. Ward is down, so Big Fat LP is going to see this. And Moma decides to take the safe route behind the turret. Good decision. Didn't want to get caught out at any point during that one, and will continue to farm.
Meanwhile, Linak continues to invade. He's going to go forward and place a ward. Keep an eye on that blue buff again. Maybe they can steal it back again with some crazy Sona action. Moma is clearing out that top lane. Let's have a look towards the middle. So as he's got Hotshot GG back with him, throws Q at him, doesn't follow it up, has got that phase now, and here we go. You can see against Authority again in that blue area. They have the timing, and there it is, just spawns in time, and they will manage to take this away. Remember, you can see Hotshot GG might get caught out of position here. So as they dive into him, the blue buff has been picked up by Linux. It's Hotshot GG they want to go for, has to use his ulti to try and back away from this one, does not want to get slowed down. He's going to trot away from this one. Linux will in time be able to get across, but I think Hotshot with that run speed will be able to just about get around there and escape that. They have pinged down on towards Moma actually. Just as a little pre-warning, he might be coming your way, but he has backed off. Ezreal using his ulti to try and clear that wave down the bottom, try and push on towards that tower, trying to lay down as much damage as possible. Yellowstar will clear out that wave, no problem. Does get a big bomb actually, which clears it straight away. Double Lift is going to go back and buy, as is Yellowstar. So let's see what they're going to pick up. And meanwhile, in the middle, you can see Hotshot is trying to play Protector against his turret. Meanwhile, he has pushed, like you say, he pushed very heavily on the opposition turret, so he should be able to get that down shortly, but Hotshot's going to try and farm up as much as possible. Will we actually see an aggressive Hotshot later on? I'm not too sure. No.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Let's leave it at that for now. We're obviously building up at the moment. Got that Regal's Lantern as per earlier on, so I was actually going to dive in onto him, finding that Hotshot was actually doing a little bit more damage than he possibly expected. The E goes out, actually Linak is there, and the kick actually just knocking him away. Stun goes down, surely this is a dead Hotshot. Yes, it will be. Soaz does get the kill as well, and that will leave Lee Sin at 1-1-2. In perfect timing, actually, as that Dragon comes up. Ezreal and Janna not even by their turret just yet, and this is going to be Dragon going over to Against All Authority without CLG having so much as a sniff at it.
Yeah, very well timed, and again, even that ulti for Lee Sin kicked straight in towards Linux path. It's like, you're going in that away, and you're stunned.
Like,
yeah,
and it's like, oh.
Such a big kick, and remember, he'd already used that ulti, I think, so he wasn't going to be able to get away from it. His ulti is now back up. Let's have a look back down the bottom here as I completely fly past it with the camera. Berserker Greaves and Double Thorns with that Vampiric Scepter. Oh, Crescendo goes across down the bottom. They're going to dive in towards Double Left. I think he's going to get away from it, though. He has got the shield on. The ulti will come out from Karthus.
Wow.
Does do a fair amount of damage already, but the coordination wasn't quite enough to do that combo like they had with the Leona Corki earlier on. And meanwhile, the blue buff will go across to Moma, so complete blue control yet again for the second time running.
Yeah, complete blue control, and always going over to Moma, giving him that extra presence. Actually 118 compared to 112 of Ari. Obviously they were in separate lanes right from the start, but that's changed recently. 113 for Lee Sin to 89 of Olaf. So no, Hotshot, one man who we know can farm without any problems for extended periods of time, is currently a fair distance behind. He's in that middle though, and he's getting this next wave coming in onto him. Needs to be careful so it doesn't go in. Flash is coming in, the advance from St. Vicious as well. Surely N-Rated will be finished off. Yes, he will, under the turret as well. Yellowstar not exactly healthy after that exchange as well. Top. And that will bring us back to 5-3. Udyr coming in onto Big Fat LP. What's he going to be able to do? Ulti is available for Big Fat LP, so he can just dash away should he need to. Decides to stick around in the fight for a little while, but will be able to retreat to safety without any fear of losing his life. However, the turret is far from healthy and will actually go down for Against All Authority to give the first turret kill of the game.
And the second one will come straight after it, and there it is down the bottom. Actually managed to get it first as well. Yeah, cheeky.
So I was wrong after all.
Yeah. And the middle turret as well is very low, and there goes the top turret. Middle turret will go down shortly as well, because Hotshot GG pushes that final wave of minions. So you can see St. Vicious actually coming across towards Moma, sapling tossed towards him, just a little present to chase after him, but he will back away from that. Everybody uses that skin. It is one of the very great skins. Linak is having a one-on-one versus Hotshot here. Hotshot's not too sure he wants a piece of this actually. Does manage to get stunned up. Linak switching to Phoenix stance as well, trying to get that burn down on Hotshot, but he will just back away from that one like a Brolaf. Can just walk away from anything. Soaz now coming in. Will they put enough damage on towards the turret? No, they won't. He'll get protected quite easily. And I wonder if N-Rateds are going to come across and try and get a crescendo on. We get a pause again as N-Rated has disconnected. So N-Rated actually had this problem before. I wonder if it's something just with his account, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess, but he doesn't want to use any other account because it's his account and he's got his runes sorted out. He's got lots of pages of runes. I think all of them have GP10 on.
as it should have, playing a role that N-Rated does as a support. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate. We did see him just die there as well, so I'm not sure if that was actually related. He was moving back, I think. But still, not really 100% sure what the problem was or is there if he when he comes back into it. Let's again just recap where we are. Now we've got a kind of static period. So 5-3 in kills against All Authority have the advantage there. 2-1 in turrets for CLG. The gold is 25.2 to 22.1 with those kills, and obviously the Dragon that we saw being picked up by against All Authority.
Yeah, and that blue control they've had as well. They've managed to take both blues for twice running. N-Rated has reconnected, so obviously it was just a simple disconnecting on his part, which it's interesting. We never had any problems in the first game, and that was like a 50-minute game.
Which, yeah.
Not a single problem at all.
Yeah. Straight through it.
But, oh well, you know, these things happen. It is a third-place playoff. Obviously, the two finalists are Dignitas and Moscow 5. That will be tomorrow afternoon. However, we are back in the game, so things are underway, as you can see, against Authority are 1-0 up in this one. It was around about a 50-minute game, a big, long, drawn-out effort. I think about half an hour of that was probably overdrawn by against All Authority. I think they were enjoying themselves really more than anything, just getting a couple of kills in there when they probably could have just grouped up and finished the game. But nevertheless, they will push on towards this middle turret and hammer away at it. St. Vicious is going to try and protect it along with Chowster's shield, and he will prevent St. Vicious, Yellow Star, from doing any more damage on it. Just caught a glimpse of Big Fat LP going back. So he's got himself out. Will the Ancients complete? Looking down towards the bottom, they realise the blue buff is about to spawn, and against Authority in position again to steal it.
Yeah, Momo's actually picked himself up needlessly large rod as well now, so that ulti will start to sting. 215, 216 AP he has at this point. Dragon, I think, was 14 minutes actually done, so still a couple of minutes for that Dragon to come back into play. But against All Authority are certainly in a position where they could quickly switch down towards that Dragon area. CLG are all gathering there as well, though. Chowster headed back. St. Vicious going to get himself back into the jungle pattern. And, well, they know that. There's a ward down just around there up at the top side for against All Authority. So they know that Ari's actually gone away and that Maokai was headed into the jungle. He's actually in the middle now, but they are going to move straight into that turret. And you know, that's the simple thing that ward offer. Yeah, we are going to get the diving down bottom onto Yellow Star, who explodes in typical Corky fashion. That will bring us back to 5-4. But against All Authority, they're trying to push it a little bit. That middle tower already taken down. Trying to do some damage, but nicely covered from CLG.
And CLG doing the traditional split push, and you know, like, they're not too worried about that inner turret. They know they're not going to go any further, so they're just quite happily farming down the bottom there. So now CLG going to try and do a little bit of an invading, maybe try and steal away as much as they can in the opposition jungle, pick up those... didn't quite manage to get that ward. Well. Didn't quite manage to get that ward in the bush there. So instead he's going to pick up the golems, and they're going to continue driving forward on that bottom turret. And suddenly, against All Authority, realise they're going to have to respond to this. Momo goes down there, he'll farm up these minions, no problem. Quick defile and then lay waste and clear them straight out. So CLG will back away from this one. Like I said, that ward not quite landing in the bush there. I think what he was hoping for, to just pop it over there. Didn't quite get it in position. Red buff has spawned, and they're going to take that away. Are CLG going to let them? It looks like they're going to maybe try and interrupt it. They've got to be careful. Yeah, it's a 2. Ezreal ulti stole it, and that was a double lift steal. Very nice there. Just about showing out. Cheeky little move there. Finally managed to get a steal on. Finally something happening for CLG as well. 20 minutes into this game, 5-4 against All Authority in the driving seat though. Blue buff also being picked up by Mama. No, it wasn't. I lied. I completely lied on that one. Blue buff has been picked up by someone. I'm not too sure. No, Linux stole their one. I'm not too sure where it is. There it is. It's just spawned. That'll be why I'm ahead of myself. My timing's not quite off. That's probably why I'm not playing in this tournament.
You'd have been there waiting.
I'd be like stood around. Yeah, it's like, where is it?
Pretty sure I had that timing. But yeah, Linak is, I'm guessing, going to hold it for Moma. Yep, Moma comes in. Finished off there with the defile and lay waste. And that will be a little bit more lay waste coming down for Moma now. And it seems like we are going to see them positioning for Baron. Hotshot is around there. N-Rated just trying to force him away. Obviously not so much damage, but enough to steal a blue earlier on. And that Dragon going down very, very quickly. And look at CLG, no position to challenge for this one. Ari, though, is up on that top turret, and he's going to be hammering away on it. Not so many minions there. I don't think they'll be able to finish off quite on this push, but actually he's going to tank it for one shot and then back away. I think he only needed 1 or 2 hits more. There we go. Top tower goes down, and we are seeing aAa coming in for this middle turret, and look how fast that goes down in there with Corky hammering away on it. Linak actually backs away, and they're not quite able to finish things off. Wall of Pain does go down to stop CLG advancing, and against All Authority, we'll be fairly happy with their trade. I think 2 more hits and that was gone as well.
Yeah, they didn't want to get too greedy though and just stand around that a little bit too long. Linak was taking a stun to take a bit of damage, and they wisely backed away from that one. Moma is just going to clear out. CLG actually going to try and push through this one. I'm not too sure that's the right thing to do. And again, a flash there pulled St. Vicious through. Mount goes in all sorts of trouble, has to flash away. Crescendo goes across, catches on towards Chowster. Chowster's had to back away from that one as well. Big Fat LP meanwhile trying to get a charm across, has missed. St. Vicious being caught out again, and exhaust use. Ulti from Carthus coming out. That's surely going to take down Chowster. St. Vicious also very low. St. Vicious does get popped by Corky as well. Now they're going to charge through. Yellowstar actually diving in and then getting blown up in the face. Moma now getting caught in there, getting that defile across everyone. Just trying to get the layaways to cross, but does not pick up the kill. And now Double Lift turning it around on them. Linak very, very low, having to back away from that one. N-rated also backing off 7-7, all squaring kills. That went very well for CLG.
Yeah, 3 for 2. That Carthus ulti, you know, as per usual, actually, almost catching. I'm surprised that they didn't really do better there against All Authority, considering how low that would have taken them, but still really greatly done by CLG. Double Lift now has that double buff on him as well, which is going to make him even more annoying for those next few minutes. Hotshot just clearing out that bottom line. Will they be able to push along there? Actually, the ping goes down on blue, so blue buff due up here any moment. And there is the blue buff, and they really have that timing down to the second, actually.
Yeah.
Linak just pinging it just as it went in there. However, Big Fight LP is there ready and waiting. He's going to start to pull it out, and he should have that finished before they can really get anywhere near it and cause too many problems, especially with Double Lift there as well.
But Linak is trying to sneak in there, and I don't think he's going to be able to get this one. So, on the 5th time of asking, Big Fat LP has finally got a blue buff. So, 3 times running against All Authorities had it. Obviously, they gave it to Maokai at the very start. Hotshot GG ports away, covering off that bottom turret. Bottom turret taken very low. They've dived down in the middle lane, though. St. Vicious had to use his ulti to try and keep them away. Defile had gone down from Moma, but they didn't bother chasing that one up. They realised, let's not get too carried away just yet. Yellowstar wasn't really in that fight. Linak's trying to get a little bit too aggressive here. Will he get caught out? He has to try and back away. St. Vicious has managed to get the stun off on him, and he's going to use that turtle shield to keep in there and just back away from that one. He has got the help and support from N-rated. Oh, wow, St. Vicious has gone a bit too aggressive, maybe a little bit too far. Has to use his ulti, will back away from that one. Meanwhile, you can see Soaz was also diving in there. They just don't quite have the focus on the damage, so will go towards St. Vicious. He's actually passing towards a ward. Will get caught out. Oh, Jana ulti just blocks him away there, completely caught out. Now you can see the defile coming across. Chowster gets caught out. Moma's quite happy to die. He's just throwing out everything he can in amongst there. Linak does get taken down. Double Lift goes down, and that worked out very well against All Authority. A 3 for 2 exchange again, this time in favour of against All Authority. They will take down the inner turret, though. That bottom lane is also very low. Will they have enough to keep pushing on the turrets? I'm not too sure. Ari is coming back with full health, just regenerating. They will certainly get a bit of damage down onto it. I don't think they'll get the inhibitor, though.
Yeah, Big Fight LP and Hotshot were both blinking red there over on the right-hand side of the screen, just showing how, you know, Requiem should be used as a initiator as well. I mean, it was never going to finish off at the start of it onto St. Vicious, but it took the rest of them low enough for aAa to really justify taking the entire team fight rather than just taking that Maokai down and then backing themselves away. Actually pings down onto an rated position. That's because there's a ward there in that middle brush. Actually, Corky trying to steal away this red buff. Needs to be very careful. Does actually have Valkyrie up and available, so he'll just be able to get away. I'm not sure why he used Flash to do that. Ah, that's why. So they can Valkyrie later. It's the combo that he decided to go with. Wall of Pain was put down, but here we are seeing Baron attempted by CLG. This could turn out to be very dangerous for them. Linak is moving over as well. Actually, the problem is that Soaz is down at the bottom, which could mean that CLG are able to get in here on the Baron. Moma actually doing the damage in onto it. Is going to be in there, and Baron wasn't stolen. It goes to CLG in the end, and that is not going to be bad. Not going to be good.
Yeah, they completely managed to cope control of that. I thought he was going to get stolen by Defile there and managing to get in, but yeah, like you say, quickly popped him down before he got in there. But Soaz was way out of position there. Good little counter there from CLG. They're going to drive forward in towards the middle here. And, well, I'm not too sure Soaz is going to be able to defend this one. Yeah, they're going to make a token effort standing in front of this inner turret, but they will back straight away from it as soon as CLG clear that wave out. That's going to drive on forward. They have a 5-man push, and they're going to have to hold it for 10 seconds. This could be in time for them to get in towards that base, take down the inhibitor, and against all authorities, their aggression is kind of backfired on them a little bit there. They've managed to win that one fight 3v2, but it's like, yeah, you really should be backing straight back to base here, and the inhibitor will go down. So Counter Logic Gaming get back into the Ascension here with that gold lead finally turning towards their favour. As I say that,
almost.
It's not. It's I thought they were going to get a bit more gold than that. Oh, Linak actually got him going very aggressive. That's got to be careful. They're against a Baron up team here. Crescendo goes across. St. Vicious going in, pops the ulti down, does manage to draw a little bit of attention away from him. Chouster's actually getting a big bomb in his face there. St. Vicious, meanwhile, again is the focus for them. Does manage to knock back 2 of them and actually just about gets away. Linak getting caught out. The charm goes across. Meanwhile, Momo's getting in there. You can see he's managed to put the Defile down. Will he manage to get the ulti off? He doesn't have it available. Yes, he does. Ulti just comes up. Will not hit anyone, no. Doesn't get a kill from it. It was only St. Vicious that went down, so it was a simple 1-for-1 exchange after all that.
Really, really tight game at the moment. 11 for 13, so kill advantage with CLG. Again, the gold not quite for them, but they are going to take themselves a dragon, which will finally put them ahead, even by 600 gold. So, such a super close game after almost 30 minutes of this one. Let's have a look quickly how the kill stands. 6-5-3 on Momo. Obviously, Carter's one of those champions that you get in there, and with the Defile, you've got the time when you're dead to keep doing the damage, so no surprise with his deaths. 6 kills, Rabadon's death cap, plus the second needlessly large rod built up as well. Actually 4-3-3 on Corky, double Doran's Blade, Bloodthirster, plus a Black Cleaver as well. Over on the other side, we've got Olaf 3-2-4, Aegis of the Legion, plus the Phage and Wriggles Lantern built up. But it's Ari and Ezreal that could be the real dangers. Sonya's Hourglass, Will of the Ancients, second needlessly large rod already finished for Ari. For Ezreal, Bloodthirster, Trinity Force, and he's just started to build up some magic resist as well.
Just to add it in there. But St. Vicious actually seems to have been the target so far. He can hit 0-5-9, and he's quite happy for that, because it's giving the time for, obviously, double lift at 5-on-5 and a big fat LP at 5-on-4. It's not like he goes down
quickly either, that's the thing.
That's it, yeah, and he's quite happily absorbing all that damage. Unfortunately, you can see that Momo is actually starting to get quite nasty. You can see he's got that 482 hit point, ability power, sorry. CLG just about lingering in distance there, and well, look at that. Hotshot GG's off split farming. Who'd have thought? CLG sticking to their old tactics, and why not? It ain't broke, don't fix it. They have managed to get to the 3rd, 4th place playoff here in the World Championships at Intel Extreme Masters in Hamanover. Actually, he's diving on towards Linak here. They've got to be careful. This is a Baron up team that they feel they have it in them to defend this final inner turret that is standing. You see that top one as well. Has a wave of minions coming towards it, but I think that should be safe. Now we can see it's a 5-man push. Hotshot trying to sneak his way around the backside. Throws out his cleaver there, but not really going to catch anyone. But that will be the inner turret going down. Udyr just clearing off that wave, and now he's going to have to come down, defend this final tower down the bottom here. They do not want to let them in the base. They cannot afford to lose another inhibitor. Let's have a look towards the Baron buff. Yeah, it's just about to run out, the Baron buff. It's got a couple of seconds left on it, so that will maybe cause them to back off from that one as it just wears out. But Joe, this has actually turned very well in CLG's favour. Maybe we'll get a best of 3 here.
And you know the ridiculous thing is, it's so close that each team fight can still be turned around. It can still flip so quickly. As we saw before, you know, CLG were the ones that were that little bit behind. They're now the ones that are a little bit in front. All it takes is one wrong move, one bad initiation, or, you know, a miss ulti here or there, and things can go pear-shaped very, very quickly. And, you know, 30-minute mark already. You're starting to get to that time where if you do have a bad team fight, you're getting punished heavily for it. But I honestly hope that we get to see that best of 3. Here we go. Hotshot may find himself in a little bit of trouble. We did see the stun come out onto him. St. Vicious is in that fight as well. Linak going very low. Ultimate comes across as well from... the Crescendo comes across as well. Double lift going low. He's got Linak, who is also super low. Will be finished off. Momo goes down. Ultimate will go off. St. Vicious survives anyway, but surely they'll kill St. Vicious. surely not kill Seth Vicious, and he's actually finished off there by the undertow from Olaf, and CLG getting 3-4-0. Massively, massively good fight for them.
It's safe to say there was tons of damage there, Joe.
Oh, there was.
And they are going to take the inhibitor down. And you can see the Super Minions also going to come through the middle. So possibly going forward, Yellowstar is going to have to try and desperately defend this one, and CLG wisely backing off. They've got a lot of gold on them. You can see 2,500 on Hotshot GG there, 1,300 across the team as well. So they're going to happily take that one. Oh, Chouster's actually got caught out of position there. Yellowstar's ward just about catching him out. You can see the Black Cleaver in action on Yellowstar there. So going with a little bit of a Army Cutie Pie build, maybe, but Big Fat LP wiping out everything from the jungle. So what are they going to buy? What are they going to do? And how are Against Authority going to respond to this one? Because it's gone from a quick 3-2 exchange to, oh my God, we are losing this desperately.
Yeah.
That's how quickly things can snowball. It is only a 2k gold difference, so the build-wise are actually pretty close, but the impetus going towards CLG, you know, they just feel they have it. They have that much stronger team fight. Blue buff is not there, so Linux just going to clear out those two lizards, and that's going to cause a problem for them. So CLG, Linux just walking face-to-face with Hotshot. Hotshot has just been back and bought. You can see he's got a lot of items, and he's, as you'd expect from Hotshot, he's farmed up pretty well. He's managed to get the kills, 525, 517 and 518. They are very good stats for the right people on CLG. In the comparison, it's 433, 137 and 663 for Against All Authorities. So you can see the kills not really balancing out, and there's just too many deaths on the carries, which is where the problem has been lying and why CLG have been getting that advantage. Let's have a look towards the middle. Inhibitor has spawned, so Against All Authorities desperately trying to get down here and defend this one. There's a creep wave coming in, and CLG will be forced away from that one. They've just about cleared all the Super Minions that were going towards it, and now the Baron is up.
Yeah, Baron is up. Actually, Moman needs to get himself in gear a little bit and push up, but this is very clever from CLG, just sitting in that brush, and the ward went down, and it looks like, whoa, back away from that one. Let's not fight there. Let's not get caught out. That will at least give time for Moma to join the pack, and I think we are going to be seeing one big fight, which could very well show us whether this game is going to carry on or not. We see the twisted advance coming in from Seth Vicious. Where's the pressure coming down? Double Lip going to be the target for Against All Authority. He actually will blink away from the fight. Moma is down to around about half HP. Has got exhaust on him as well. Double Lip will ulti across. This is a CLG fight without a doubt, and Requiem is going to pop, but it's not going to do anything. Well, of course it's doing damage, but it's definitely not getting him any kills. N-rated is going to go down, and there is the ace from Counter Logic Gaming. Will they be able to push through? They've got 40 seconds, 30 seconds for Yellowstar, but he's not going to be able to stop them taking down these two turrets, and actually don't even need that inhibitor. They can just carry on the Super Minions in there just to help them with the cause. And we are going to be going to game number 3 here between CLG and Against All Authority in the 3rd and 4th place matchup. Yes.
Well, Joe, we've got into the best of 3.
Finally. You know, it's just the look that I bring to the stream, guys.
That's it, yeah.
I've sat here twice today, twice this week.
The 2 games you've done have been the only best of 3s.
Yeah,
they are the only best of 3s. There's CLG on your screens. So they've managed to pull one back. It was a very, very tense affair. 34 minutes 17 in there, and 21-11 actually at the end of it. It was very, very close at one point. I think it was about 13-11 the turnaround, and then just CLG drove home that advantage they get, which is what the top teams do. Once they smell bullet, they would just dive on it. And you can see, look at that, 8-1-10 for Double Lift. Double Lift played fantastic.
So
he
good.
was attempted to be targeted. Like you said, you even called it in that last fight. They were going for him. Janna ulti zips away. Yeah. You're not going to get me. And meanwhile, everything has been blown towards him, and then they're just like, oh, he's got away.
The worst thing is that once he's blinked out, he's just stood at the back, and he's continuing to damage, and then it's like, oh, what's that ulti across you, all you're going down. And again, Requiem came at the end of the fight, actually, at the point where no one was going to die from it. And I think the Moment needed to use that a little bit more, you know, as an engager rather than a finisher, because it definitely wasn't that in the situations towards that late game that we saw him use it.
Yeah, and obviously we had the little switch around as well of the lanes early on. I'm not too sure how well that worked out. So I seem to have a really good advantage early on against Ari, and same with Karthus at the top, but then they just switched it up, and they didn't make an attempt to try and reverse it again, and it was working so well for them. And then it just kind of fell back on them at the end of the day. So you can see here we are at the World Championships. The finals will be tomorrow, don't forget. We're going to have all the finals back to back. It will be the CS, then the StarCraft, then the League of Legends here on the grand stage in the Intel Extreme Masters at CeBIT Hanover. If you're in the area, feel free to come on down. It's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. The teams are ready and waiting to go for the next match, so don't go anywhere, guys. It's going to be the third and final game for CLG versus Against All Authorities.
Welcome back then to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Day 4 for the third, fourth place playoff between CLG and Against All Authority. We're on to game number 3. The look of the Miller strikes once again.
The look of the Miller.
It's a new thing that I just invented.
Joe the Look Miller. There you go.
It's another possible one. It's impossible. There's been a lot more coming up recently. Everyone wants, and maybe I'll make some kind of community contest where the community can decide my nickname. I know I'll end up with something ridiculous then, but what are you going to do? So we're just waiting for one more player to come in from Against All Authority, and as I say, that yellow star joins the game, and we should be almost ready to go. We've seen a 43-minute game, mid-30s minute game. These two have been very, very close. Both of them still could have gone either way. I mean, the first one, we did see roughly 20 minutes of base action in CLG's base. They were holding on, but that's when it gets to that kind of stage of the game, it only needs one, as I said, one bad fight from Against All Authority, and CLG would have said, all right then, thanks for that, we're just going to push straight up the middle and we're going to ram your base. But it is 1-1. We are going to go into match number 3. Against All Authority, again, didn't look so happy in the pictures that we saw from them just there before the game. And I wonder what their state of mind is, because last time they were in this situation, Yellow Star was like furious. And then he turned on the Corky action and ended up 9-0-X.
He did, but you know what? He's been struggling a little bit against Doublelift here. Doublelift played very well throughout this tournament.
Amazing
he has been very strong throughout this tournament, and he's been playing a very good Ezreal. As was Big Fat LP, he had a lot more of an impact on that game, despite the fact, early on he was like, I'm against Lee Sin. What's going on here? This isn't right. I should be against Karthus. And they switched it up a few times. They had such good control of the blue buffs, and yet despite all that, they didn't win the game. You know what? As soon as CLG managed to recover their blue buff, they were like, right, okay, let's start pushing. Managed to win a quick team fight. Against All Authority came back, pushed a little bit too far on them on that tower, just that one little push, and CLG took advantage, and they didn't look back, and obviously they managed to get that Baron. They tried to get the steal, try and threw everything in there, and that can be a problem with Karthus, because Karthus is just going to walk in. I've got Defile and Layways going, don't care if I die, and then I'll just throw my ulti out. The problem was there wasn't really any damage following it, so once his ulti went out, it was just like bang, and they're low, and you're all dead. Yeah,
that's exactly how it was, and I wonder what we're going to see really in Game 3, because they've been very different setups from Against All Authority that we've seen so far. That whole switching around in Game number 2. Game number 1 was very CLG, You know, they played
it was very CLG.
It was, you know, as close as you can get, I guess, to a mirror match when it comes to League of Legends. A real clash of styles that they went into it. Let's see how this one goes. The picks and bans are, in fact, ready to go. And CLG this time, as the losing team, do get first ban, first pick, and it is Kennen who is dropped out. Another standard ban or first pick in this tournament.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, yes, I was meant to be wearing the support-only shirt this morning.
He was supposed to be good guy demon today, but as you can see,
I'm no good guy.
Can't fill the role.
Well, I don't want to lie. I don't support.
I know that.
I carry only. As you get in against. Anyway, moving on. Says the Singe player at the top.
We won.
You did win. It was pretty convincing as well, but you know, Freak seemed to think that, you know, if an ESL game versus Riot would win pretty much because they were looking good in that game. Not too sure. I said, well, you could easily challenge Joe to CS if you like.
Then we'll see who's going to win.
Yeah. Well, he tried to throw Rivington in there, saying, "Oh, he'll rotate your run for your money." Nope. Not a chance.
Anyway, the bans, we've got 4 of them already out. Kennen and Nidalee, the 2 bans on CLG. Again, CLG are like, no, really. We do know that Soaz, you know, he always was a good Nidalee player. We just haven't seen him play it that much until he just went to surprises in that first game. He was like, you know, I can play Nidalee pretty damn good as well, right? And he came out with that one. Udia, Shen banned, Shyvana banned. And what is the final one going to be? From Against All Authority, it is Rise, something which they've targeted the last 2 games.
Yeah, because obviously it's a pretty strongly played character in North America, certainly by Big Fat LP as well. So that's been taken out of the occasion. What will Big Fat LP pick up first? Will it be the support role? We have Udia taken out. He's been one of the first picks for quite often. Shen's been one of the first picks quite often, but these are all
I think the
insta-locks
are kind of gone, right?
Yeah, there used to be something. So they're not...
Left Carthus open again. I don't think they'll be too worried about that after that last game.
Yeah, I don't think they fear it at all. I'm just intrigued as to see what they're going to pick up. Remember, Kennen's been taken out as well, so yeah, they are going to go with Jan. And
Rivington's goading me.
Yeah.
I know you, man.
Comes out for the challenge.
We can fix that one day.
So, yeah, there's machines over there. You can go for it if you like, you two, one-on-one. But yeah, Janna being picked up there, and again, it's one of the heroes we talked about. Has been one of the solid picks and bans. I think we're about 18, probably about 90% of the games now. So,
yeah,
guys, she's going to be nerfed next week. Sorry.
Balanced, actually. So, Janna locked in for CLG. Saw her last game, played brilliantly. Nothing really more to say about that in the first game as well. Let's see what aAa respond with. Their combo that we saw in the semi-finals actually against SK, they've not gone for at all in the first of these 2 games. Maybe that comes out now, which was the Corki, Leona, basically your support dies combination.
Yes, I'm wondering if they will go with that Leona, because it did work very well for them.
It did.
But if he picks up Ezreal, again, like we saw in that last game, it's just very hard to pin down. But N-Rated was landing it very, very well. So you never know, it's possible. He may just go back with the old sort of style. It seemed to work out, and now they've had the fun. They've tasted defeat, and they're probably thinking, okay, serious face, guys. Serious face time. And it is going to be possibly Cogmore and Sona. Okay, Cogmore and Sona. So picking out bottom lane. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ezreal coming out again here, because Doublelift has played very well on Ezreal the last few games. And I wonder what sort of jungler they're going to go with. There's quite a lot available. They could go for a Lee Sin in the jungle. I'm trying to think what St. Vicious would prefer. Probably Mundo, maybe, which he's been picking quite often.
There. Was banned in the last game.
Yep.
Picked in the first, so wouldn't surprise me to see Mundo come out. Obviously, Shyvana not available. Udia, Shen, they're all out there. There we have for CLG next, and it is the last game, and although you always have some kind of thing in your mind as to how the first 2 games have gone, I guess it's pretty much out of the way. It's all about this one game, kind of tunnel vision, all about this now. That's what we have to think about. Maokai also still available, worked very, very well from in the last game, and I think St. Vicious will be very, very happy with how it went, because, you know, it was 0 for 6 something at one point.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were focusing him when it came into those 3v3 fights and things like that, which is fine. You can focus the jungler all day you want. It's damn tanky. You're not going to take him down quickly, and the rest were just doing damage the whole time. Double lift again gone from Ezreal. And what are Against All Authority going to go with now? They've already got that bottom lane in there. Kog'Maw, Sona, and obviously Kog'Maw, one of those champions, he's not very quick, and Ezreal can jump in there and cause him a few problems.
Yeah, absolutely can. So they're going to be forced to pick an AP champion. Oh, will Momo take Ari away from CLG? It's possible. They've got the... they're going to go Mundo Jungle. They're going to pick Mundo Jungle, so they're going to use their weapon against them. It's not a bad choice, you know. He can really get in their faces. Has a lot of hit points. Once that ult is running, he can be very strong. Hotshot GG going to be picking up Aurelia on the top lane. Okay, interesting. Which is going to throw it over to Against All Authority. Well, if one thing Soaz is damn used to playing against, it's going to be Aurelia. He's come up against many, many Aurelias in Europe across his time. So I guess if he's got a chance of winning a lane, it will be now.
Well, he's a solid Aurelia player himself, which makes even more of a difference, probably.
He Although used to play Riven a lot as well, but
Riven a lot.
Obviously Riven hit a few nerves recently. Has kind of fell out of favour for this tournament. I think I did see one Riven earlier today. It might have been Soaz that was playing it.
Kassadin's also not been...
yeah, we talked about this earlier, and
You have the 1 second cooldown addition to his Rift Walk. Was that the only thing that changed onto him recently?
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Oh, hello.
There we go.
Are we going to see Veigar? We've got 2 seconds to change it. 2 seconds to change it. Will he go for the change?
Nope.
No, Big Fat LP is going to be on Veigar. Excellent. I didn't get to do the game of Veigar. I love Veigar. Veigar was one of the champions I played in my leveling up days many, many moons ago, along with Annie.
Brilliantly, of course.
Yeah, because obviously I AP carry only.
Team player.
Badly. And Wukong, of course. We saw Soaz play a brilliant Wukong in the group stage. I'm trying my best to think who it was against.
Played one against SK as well.
He was like 6-0 up at one point, really early on. In fact, he got the only kills on the team, hadn't he?
He got a double kill when they failed ganked, actually. So yeah, very, very strong Wukong player is Soaz. Momo obviously taking that Ari away from Big Fat LP. What do you think to the middle situation? Obviously, very mobile champion is Ari, but Vegas one of those that can stop you being quite so mobile apart from in a little tiny area unless you want to get stunned.
Well, you have to hit it perfectly, and against Ari that would be a very tight area to hit because you can just zip straight through. If you don't manage
she's in the middle of it if she's not.
Yeah, but you have to get that ring tight on him, and it's an art form. But these two players are the very best in the world, so it's no doubt they can do it. We join the game again. It was dropped. Damn you. They're trolling me. They're trying to keep us out there, so we're just going to rehost the game. But yeah, I mean, Veigar, we would, like we say, saw Jackie playing it. I think it was the only, or NY Jackie, whichever you like to call him. It's the only time we've actually seen him in a tournament. So I don't know how it's going to go against Ari in the middle. I honestly don't remember seeing Momo playing Ari at all throughout this tournament either. But no, I can't think. I'm hard pressed. I'm sure you guys with the stats out there will have something that you can come up with. Check it out online, guys. There's plenty of stats out there. A wild getting casters trying to put me off here. Go back to your StarCraft area. So
finished already because the games weren't as entertaining as League of Legends,
yeah, that's what it is. Let's not start a LoL versus StarCraft debate. I think they've gone on plenty of times as it was. They are equally very good games. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right.
Diplomatic.
So, just waiting for the guys to get on the right team. So as just joined the CLG team, and one leaves, and then join back up. And don't forget, guys, you can go over to intelextrememasters.com. The vote will be up at some point in the very near future. Click the MVP button on the top bar and vote for your MVP of the tournament, your I carried today big of the tournament.
Today big.
We're going to be putting a selection, I think it's of 8 players that are going to win this awesome hoodie, plus an Intel Core i7 Extreme Edition processor, one of these amazing BenQ monitors, of course the official processor, the official monitors of the Intel Extreme Masters, plus a lovely Razer peripherals package as well. So plenty of stuff for those guys to be winning, and we're just making this blind pick game. It's got to go to Scar, like, honestly.
Yeah.
if he doesn't win it, there's something wrong with the world.
Well, it's got to at least go to someone of dignitas.
The thing is, the
Voyboy was kind of in that video as well.
The vote is not 100% actually of everything. So the vote counts for a certain amount. Then the expert vote, which will be the commentators except me.
See, you're saying that because you know the internet hordes are going to pile on Scar and vote for this thing.
It always has been that way. Actually, except the first tournament when we realised.
Yeah, it was hot shot.
Exactly,
it was like, oh, popularity contest.
The worst thing was with Counter-Strike as well in New York when one of the journalists who just stood in to play for one of the teams got voted as the MVP for the entire tournament. And he played like the group stage and he stole it away from guys who actually won the tournament, so we changed that one a little bit slightly.
Yeah, exactly, wise choice. So anyway, the game will be loading shortly. So who do you go with on this one? We're 1-1, we're all square. It's a very even game last game. The first game was a long one. I'm thinking against all authorities here, although I like Veigar, but I think against all authorities will take this one away.
Well, I said CLG actually before the start of the match, judging on their solid but not quite solid enough performance against Moscow 5. And it's not like I'm a fanboy of either of the teams or any of the teams in the tournament.
No,
it's just
actually,
I'm just thinking from
the players have always asked me, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win? It's like, well, I'm a neutral. I'm not going to go with them. I only go with what I see on the screen. So I'm not. You have to stay neutral in this business.
You have to, otherwise you get shot down.
Yes, or you get Reddit threats.
Which is basically being shot down. So anyway, we are going to be going into game number 3. This will decide who finishes third and who finishes fourth in the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. It's CLG versus Against All Authority. So we're back with Irish Big Fat LP with his Viger. That was my best Irish impression to get the game underway. I'm sure I'm going to get shot down for that one as well. But Doublelift going down into that bottom try, which could find himself in a little bit of trouble here. He's actually skilled up the Mystic shot first, so wouldn't have been able to use the Arcane Shift to get away. Either way, he just walks out of it. Against All Authority decide not to go in there full time. CLG, it's that kind of defensive line that they've got set up, except Maokai, who's having a bit of a wander up in the top side of the jungle. And the question is, will Against All Authority go in there? There is that present down, which is going to come running after Enrated. Does land on him, but not doing too much damage, of course, at level 1. And it seems like we won't see any team fight action, at least at this stage of the game. It is that, in a best of 3, you always see the most aggression early on in the first and the second games. The third game generally tends to be a little bit more passive, with both teams not wanting to take any kind of risk.
Yeah, absolutely, and wisely so. Clever little play from St. Vincent, just using the sapling to have a little mini ward. But bottom golems will be taken away by Doublelift. Oh, I thought he'd reset it for a minute there, but St. Vincent actually Chowster pulling the aggro 90 from them. And Doublelift will pick up... Oh, Chowster picked up the gold. Is that a mistake? I think it must have been. Chowster took away the gold there. Yellowstar doing the same thing on the Wolves, but this time he got all of it. So, yeah, that didn't quite work out for them down there. Red buff being picking up by Linux, so no crazy invade strats here. St. Vicious also managed to start off and has picked up the blue, so all back to normal in the lanes. Let's have a quick rundown of the lanes. Down the bottom here you can see Doublelift and Chowster on your screen on Ezreal and Janna again. Doublelift been playing a fantastic game on Ezreal so far. Yellowstar and N-rated, that will be Cogmore on that butterfly Cogmore. I actually don't like that skin. It's all about the Chinese Cogmore. And N-rated, of course, on Sona. So no Leona coming out this time, which does surprise me. Maokai in the jungle will be Sound Vicious. Meanwhile, you can see Linak is on Dr. Mundo. Meanwhile, in the middle, it is Muma on Ari. The cat of nine tails, or whatever you like to call it. Big Fat LP on the little Irish fella, which is Big Fat LP. I'm afraid that's down to our GPS being Irish mode at the moment. So as at the top on Wukong, he is, he was very good on Wukong before, and Hotshot GG on Aurelia. So some interesting laners here. We're going to see how they're going to work out. The bottom lane is going to be a bit of poke, and they have to keep Doublelift under control because they've struggled so much to get any ganks really. And there's not been a lot of ganking down the bottom lane throughout this whole tournament, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that's something that I noticed as well in the 6 games that I've seen now, which is almost as much as I guess some of you guys have casted somehow throughout the days as well. Meanwhile, in the middle area, we do have Big Fat LP actually being pushed against his turret by Momo. As you mentioned, we've not seen too much Ari from him in the past. We know him as a very, very strong fizz player, but we are going to see Chaucer actually moving here for the gank. Howling Gale is going to land. That is a very, very dead one. And we just talked about the bottom lane not getting any ganks, but what about that Janna coming up for a gank in middle?
Yeah, oh my God, why did you not kill miss support? But yeah, that was a good engage there from Chaucer. Flashed in, I think he put the Zephyr down to start with, and he managed to catch the Howling Gale across. So obviously, I think Big Fat LP had picked up Event Horizon. He has got it now, but I don't think he's done it. Meanwhile, at the top here, you can see a gank on towards Hotshot GG. I think he'll get away. No, Soaz has actually dived on the turret. He will manage to get him down. Soaz is going to go down to the turret, though, and he will get killed off. And the turret is not fooled by that, and he will manage to get the kill. So, a trade of blows that didn't quite work out for them this time around. And against all authorities, 2-1 down.
Yeah, 2-1 down. Great start for CLG. Obviously, first blood over to that AP carry in mid. They really, I guess, won't be too unhappy about going down, getting it back anyway. And she will come back into the lane with the Ninja Tabby finish plus a Doran shield. So going to be a little bit tougher to get anything from. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, Yellow Star already pushing fairly aggressively down in towards this turret range. Continuing to get this farm and keep those minions pinned against CLG's bottom turret. There's not many of them going to get through from this wave, actually. Only the 3 caster minions from there. Meanwhile, Maokai is up at top. St. Vicious waiting possibly for his chances. Those minions just get themselves out of range so he can get in there. Actually, Soaz, is this going to be a good bait from Hotshot GG? I think it is. I think this could be a brilliant bait. Has Soaz spotted St. Vicious, though? I don't think so. But Soaz is still hanging out there. Does he know anything about it? I don't know. It's very clever the way that Soaz is doing this either way. He's probably wondering, hey, why is Hotshot so aggressive there at this point? And St. Vicious actually starting to move away, but they are going to move in. Lindak is there as well for the party. The problem is that Hotshot is fairly low. They decided they couldn't actually get in onto him, and that will allow Hotshot to escape. Cleaver thrown out there. St. Vicious will actually steal a bit of XP, level himself up, and yeah, you're not going to be able to portal back when there's a Mundo in that brush there just in front of you, and guess what? You're not going to be able to do it there either. Has to step back a few paces. Let's have a look at the CS in this middle lane. Ari 34 to the 33 of Vega, so very, very even. Down in the bottom lane, 52 for Cogmore, 52 for Ezreal. Super close as well.
Yeah, Cage's lucky pick being picked up by Big Fat LP early on there, so as well as getting that little bit of ability power, he's going to get some GP action as well. So 2-1. Early on, the kills do go down. Bit of a contrast to the 18.5 minutes we had in the CLG game that myself and Daniel Klein covered. You can see that Soaz is covering off on his tower. Oh, diving towards the middle here. Linak has been caught out. You can see that Event Horizon has gone down moments. Meanwhile, putting the damage down on Big Fat LP. He's had to back away. St. Vicious gets a good flash through and will get away from it. Very nicely played there. And actually, you know what? I think Hotshot GG fancies a bait of this, but he's going to have to back off. And Linak will walk away from that one. So Momo coming out quite well against Big Fat LP, but he's just going to use that health pot to keep in lane and try and farm up that Q as much as possible.
Yeah, getting out nicely there. That flash going over the Cleaver actually missed as well from Linak. Did have to pop his ulti, but now he's healthy again. Hotshot needs to be careful. Linak is already level 6, Soaz is level 6, so gonna have that nice knock up from the ulti of Wukong. Almost said Maokai there, as Soaz takes a bit of damage, and Linak has decided to back away. Red buff is available, but maybe now, after he's done golems, we'll head in towards that middle area. Meanwhile, on bottom, Ezreal has gone home. Double Doran's Blade plus the Vampiric Scepter now under control, and Big Fat LP is going to get himself blue buff for a little bit of help inside of the middle. Meanwhile, Momo also went home. Double Doran's Blade picked up wards to keep him safe from that middle gank of Maokai as well. Meanwhile, up at top, Linak has snuck into that bottom side of the brush. As I mentioned, red buff is available. He's going to have to wait a while, though. There's a ton of minions being forced onto this turret by against All Authority.
Yeah, not so sure if he's going to try and bait him out there. Back down the bottom, you can see Double Lift has returned to lane. That double.
Going to dive him.
Oh, they're diving him. They are going to dive him. Hotshot GG is going to use the Ignite. I don't think they're going to be able to do too much about it. You can see Soaz with that ulti running is eating a lot of hits from that tower, and Hotshot GG wisely using ulti. The problem is he has such a big wave of minions there. That ulti was always going to give him a great big health regen. And that was never going to work out. Momino with Double Doran's Ring has put that ward down, but Big Fat LP is quite happy farming now. You can see he's now got the Fiendish Codex coming back again and continuing about his farming path.
Yeah, Yellow Star also Double Doran's Blade, Berserker's Greaves in position as well. So we're doing that bit more damage, but at an extra bit of speed. In the middle, another bit of farming going on as Moma, I don't know, he's stuck to his turret right now. I think he feels there may be a bit of a problem going on. Actually, he's got wards down on both sides, so should know that there's not much to be worried about there. Blue buff is now available. Moma going to take that one away, so both AP carries in that mid lane will have themselves a blue buff to work with. Vega 67 to the 65 CS of Ari currently. Heart of Gold picked up for Maokai. Already got that Philo Stone from earlier on as well. And Mondo also coming back into play with a Heart of Gold. Already got his Merc Treads plus a Cloth Armor built up. And Moma's going to be taking away the Wraiths. Needs that extra farm at this point. And we settle into a fairly quiet period as we hit 10 minutes. And you know, that's kind of what's going to happen when it is 2-1. No team really feeling they have much of an advantage to push. However, we do have Linak in this middle area. Well, Big Fat LP knows he's there. There's a ward right next to Linak, and he will back away. No real action to write home about.
No real action at all. And Aurelia has just gone back, so Hotshot GG gets himself his Ninja Tabby complete, also with a Ruby Crystal and Longsword. A lot of wards, actually, on against all authorities. Everybody buying wards across the team, as they should do, keeping their areas covered. You can see Wukong's managed to place one in the river there, expecting Hotshot GG to do the same as soon as he gets his first opportunity. Of course, the middle lane is covering off with wards as well, as is the jungler. We have St. Vicious taking away those wraiths. Big Fat LP is going to go back and buy. Let's see what he comes up with. He has got around about 900 gold, actually 955. Oh, he's completed the Deathfire Grasp. So that's an early Deathfire Grasp. We can see Hotshot GG is going to get dived on here. Would really not going to land the chopper, and actually so has backed away from that one. Not too sure if that was a mistake or whether it was like backing away. It's like they're half debating whether they can get it, but he was never really in trouble there. So he's still feeling very strong. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Yellow Star versus Double Lift. Not a great deal going on down here, and that's actually a problem. I don't know whether it's going to be a problem for Double Lift or a problem for Yellow Star. I feel that Ezreal maybe wants to get some kills early on. Hotshot, again, getting a little bit of harassment from Linak, just hanging around in the bush. They hadn't backed away, but that's going to buy the time for St. Vicious to go and try and take the Wraiths away, which are not there. Ping goes down. There is Linak, spotted. Will they try and close in around him? You can see Hotshot was coming down to have a look at him, but don't think he's going to pick too much about it. Deathfire Grasp is going to be really useful later on against Mundo.
Yeah, real useful, actually. So Moma just puts that ward down. They actually saw him going in there, worried about him stealing away those wraiths, which St. Vicious does want to have. We've seen Ezreal go back home again. BF sword collected, as is the trend. Actually, we've seen rather than going Sheen first, as you know, a lot of Ezreals will do. Double Lift going for that BF sword straight away. Actually, Yellow Star must have a ton of gold on him yet, sitting on 1,700 gold at this point of the game as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see him go back relatively soon, just to keep up with the damage that Double Lift will be putting out onto him. And a very passive game from both teams. Even we talked about how, you know, first or second game, they're the times to take the risk, but chances of seeing any risky play in the third game are pretty low, and we're seeing that right now. Yeah,
there's like $5,000 up for grabs between these two positions, so they're suddenly taking it serious. Like, actually, that wouldn't be too bad to go home with that money, and the big fat check, and being in the prize-giving ceremony, no doubt, as well. So
medals around your neck.
Yeah, you get medals around your neck, so it's quite important. Obviously, you don't want to be embarrassed in front of a crowd, and so they don't want to do any crazy plays, which is why it's inevitably going to be a much slower match. on the plus side, I don't think the players are going to get harassed so much. I did manage to catch hold of Team Solo mid earlier around here, and they were like, I was like, oh, you're going to watch this in the front stage? And they were like, not a chance. we get harassed badly when we go out that front crowd area. So actually, this has started to happen. This has obviously happened in StarCraft before. They get barried off, but suddenly the LoL players are actually starting to feel it. It's like, can't really have fun just sitting there. We get harassed all day. They did do on the very first day of the event, but it's interesting to see the players having to start to get to that stage. They're starting to get that popular. You know, when you're streaming, you got your little face in that corner, just like they have right now. You kind of get spotted a lot.
Yeah, people know what you look like. There's the well, the upside actually is what it should be.
Yeah.
We saw that Big Fat LP almost getting some good damage over onto Moma. Had to back away as the charm did miss. And we have Linak down in that bottom brush, and is he going to stay? He actually tried to blue pill home, and we are going to see him go in there. Cleaver did actually land, unsurprisingly. The arcane shift from Double Lift will get him away. But he's come back into it. I'm not sure why he decided to do that. Howling Gale came across, and a Cleaver won't do too much damage, and Linak backs away. But that could have been a risky move from Double Lift to come back in. I mean, actually his flash was used there. I thought it was. Did he flash back again? His cooldown was on Arcane Shift, plus the flash just was popped as well.
I think he went both. We used them both to get out of the way of the dive. Obviously, Mundo was quite possible to dive towards him. So Ari's going to pick up the blue buff in the middle there. So Moma again, Moma with them double Dorans, and Mercury Treads actually went for early on. He has got just shy of 1,500 gold, so he's going to be building up possibly to an easy Rod. I'm not too sure which way he's going to go with it. Big Fat LP obviously going with that Deathfire Grasp. Oh, just missing no event horizon on Moma there, and we'll clear those minions. And I wonder if he's going to go back and buy. He's got no reason to. He's full health, full mana. Stick around, keep farming. That's the CLG way, and Hotshot GG is doing a grand job at that up the top there. So, we got movement from Hotshot. Is he just going to go down a ward? He hasn't got anything on him, so I would doubt that. We haven't seen any dragon attempts yet. Oh, dive on towards Hotshot GG up the top there. Ulti used from Soaz. Had to flash out of it. Exhaust goes down as well. I think Hotshot might not get out of this one this time. Linak has to land that chopper. He does. The cleaver goes in the back. Hotshot GG certainly going to go down in. This will make things all even, and the cleaver from Linak does finish it off. At last we get a kill, and that may trigger things. Will we see any movement for that dragon? Still yet to see anything for that 16 minutes into this game. Big Fat LP has been doing a great job. Every time he comes around the side, tries to catch that event horizon onto Moma there, and just dashes away straight away every time.
Yeah, Dragon's probably wondering why he's been alive so long. That's 16 minutes into it. Big Fat LP currently up at 140 AP. As you said, a real proper rush as well onto Deathfire Grasp. Still only got the T1 boots. Must have a pretty big stack of cash. Yeah, up to 1,800 gold at the moment. Sat on him. Mundo also with 1,000, so wasn't surprised to see him headed home. And as I say that, he is actually going home. Meanwhile, bottom lane really has been a big farm fest. We've seen Linak down there, I think just one time in the entire game, and that's when we saw Flash being used by Double Lift. But still, there's not been that much action there. Bloodthirster double Doran's Blade for Ezreal. Double Doran's Blade, BF Sword, plus a Zeal on Yellow Star. So making sure that he keeps that damage and his attack speed stacking at the same time. In terms of gold, it's just 100 difference at 17 minutes in. The kills all level, no towers going down, no dragons. Just an incredibly passive and close game.
Very passive. Hotshot GG following very well on towards Soaz there and continuing the harass.
Do you have an Oracle
Keep him on there. No, he just guessed the path, I think. He's done it a few times and guessed it very well. Just keeping my eye on Ari. He went down the bottom there, looking towards Big Fat LP, actually diving on towards him. Event Horizon just about missing as well. So Moma going to try and keep on him, and actually a lot of damage going between the two. You can say the Ignite. Oh, manages to finish it off. Moma will just about get away from that one. Very nicely played. Obviously passing through. Chance can't manage to land the Zephyr. Not quite close enough. Good little gank there, and he actually had to eat the ulti from Big Fat LP in the face there, and will actually just stick around. Doesn't have any health pots, but that Giant's Belt helping out a great deal there. Managed to eat up that initial burst that comes out from Veigar.
Yep, and Yellow Star actually just headed up there. The Arcane Shift from Double Lift will get him over the top of the wall. And they may just back away from this one. Maokai is actually the one that's come down to cover this bottom lane for Veigar. Still actually not spawned. At 18 minutes we've had so far in this game. Still no dragon taken. Obviously Baron is up already. At this rate they might even be ending up taking a Baron before the dragon goes down. But still, no real big team fight has happened. It's been those 1 kill here, 1 kill there. Hotshot being caught out, obviously up at the top twice, which is where the 2 of those 3 against all authority kills have come from. It's Wukong and Ari that have gone down for the European side. Blue is going to be going over to Big Fat LP as well. And actually, Blue was taken by Linak? No, so their Blue must be due up pretty soon against all authority. I think it was a little bit behind, actually, that of, again, that of the CLG. But currently, well, a real, you know, when I said...
thriller, that's what you're going to say.
When I said they're not going to take any risks, I didn't quite expect it to be this passive of a farm fest.
Yeah, it is actually not taking any risks whatsoever. I kind of expected it. I kind of expected it a few times throughout this event. Oh, look at that. Wow, they're starting on Dragon at last. So they are going to go across there. Linak is going to come down. Linak attempted to get a gank on the top there. Wukong did use his ulti again on Hotshot, but again, managing to dodge that cleavage. Doing pretty well. That's either good dodging from Hotshot or bad cleavers from Linak. I'm not too sure which way. I guess it's whichever way you want to look at it, whichever fan you are of a certain player. Soaz returns to the top, and now with that Wriggles, Brutalizer and Triple Doran's going very aggressive build on Soaz. So he hasn't quite been able to get the kills. You can see Hotshot has managed to armor it up and health it up. Ninja Tabby to go in there, which by the way doesn't have dodge on them. I believe someone on the Reddit forums was trying to post
my Singe build wasn't that stupid, guys.
Yeah, trying to say, oh, he's gone for dodge. And it's like, guys, dodge got removed from the game.
Late.
Yeah. Let's wake up here. Double Lift actually eating a Cogmore ulti in the face there, just barraging it away from range. Has gone for the BF sword there, the best friend I believe it is. It may have other names, and the Zeal as well. Double Lift meanwhile, you can see has gone that Bloodthirster early on, so going very aggressive now. Trinity Force probably going to come up there. I don't know why I said that was very aggressive. It's pretty standard. Surely's Reverie have been completed by St. Vicious. Meanwhile, oh, in the middle, Big Fat LP trying to catch on towards Momo. I don't think he has any more bursts left in him. Actually turning around, Momo going very aggressive on towards Big Fat LP. Thinking he could try and get something back from that one. If it had landed the charm, it may well have been enough there, but it wasn't quite enough. Did manage to get the Ignite down. But the Ezreal ulti coming across, and well, Ari actually dodging out of that one. And I think at the bottom you can see Double Lift is going to just zip away from there, and Yellow start trying to get on him, but it's still very, very passive.
Very, very passive indeed. And when you said, I don't know why you said it's aggressive, I think it's just anything in this game is possibly considered as aggressive right now. Again, that bottom turret for both teams has literally lost 500 hit points so far, and the other side is not much further down. Middle turrets are in a similar situation. Actually, the against all authority outer turret in the middle is fairly decently low. And look at this, they've pinged Linak in that top bush. He knows he's there. Hotshot not going to fall into any of these traps. And he's just going to sit back and soak it up as he goes. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, it looks like we're going to be seeing the 2 AD carries dancing and then going home. At least Double Lift is going home. Yellow Star was on his turret and having a bit of a dance. And I think wondering, you know, where do we go from here? What happens next? When does it happen, more to the point?
When does it happen? We're at 22 minutes. Baron is possible now. Ezreal throws that ulti out down the bottom, and we're at the stage where Ezreal's ulti is wiping out a wave. So you'd think there'd be a team fight coming soon. Not sure when. Maybe they'll have to put an advertisement out there for a weekly newspaper or something. We might actually finally get to see it. At the moment, the action between Big Fat LP and Moma has started to pick up. You can see Ryler's Scepter has been completed. Meanwhile, Big Fat LP is building towards that Rod of Ages. It's going to be a little bit of a late Rod of Ages, but it will build up over 10 minutes. So I guess CLG going for the long game. No shock there. You can see aAa's Impaler has been completed by Hotshot GG at the top there. Linek has finally managed to get on. So Linek actually popping his ulti this time. Will go towards the turret. Is he going to go towards Hotshot GG? Finally will go down. No, he jukes it around again. This time Soaz will pick up the kill and he will back away from that turret. So Against All Authority actually picking up a kill there. We do see down the bottom, you can see a bit of a dive coming on here. Will they manage to get towards him as I missed that kill?
Big Fight LP actually came in there as well, and that's why Hotshot was delaying his death so much, and that's why he dashed in towards that tri-bush area, because Big Fight LP was coming up from middle and literally just nuked Soaz down.
Yeah, so bottom turret did go down. I was trying to look towards St. Vicious to see if he was going to go for that kill. Did force them away from the turret, so bottom turret does go down. So Big Fat LP has managed to pick up that kill. Did obviously use that Deathfire Grasp in there as well to get the kill on Soaz. St. Vicious returns to the jungle, where he has been sat for quite a while. And Shirelia's Reverie, and actually quite a long way into the build here. But, you know, I always feel these long games, these long drawn-out farming sessions, build far better for CLG, because they are so used to it. This is their style of play. They are happy to go this way, and they can build up from it. Rod of Age is also completed by Big Fat LP now. Meanwhile, Linak is continuing to pull away the red buff. Has got that Spirit Visage built for quite a while, actually, building towards all sorts. At the moment, have a look towards Moma as well. Moma just returning to lane. Has had to go for a bit more magic resist as well. He's so fearful of Big Fat LP's quick burst, and rightly so. And the wards now starting to be cleared out by Chester with that Oracles. Let's have a look towards N-rated. Where's he going? Now, and you know, something that's not happened in this game that happened in the last one is they had the timings down on blue buff, not even encroached into the enemy jungle at the moment. And CLG starting to drive home and pick up all the advantages. You can see the mid turret now going down, bottom turret has already gone down, top turret will go down shortly. So CLG starting to really drive home the advantage. This is what they do. They'll farm it up 20 plus minutes and then they go, right, okay guys, time to actually win.
Did you see that? They signalled him to drop back, and the Hotshot's like, nah, I'm going to take this turret down. I'll just wait here. And then he actually pinged into the jungle and said, look guys, I think they're only there by now. I can stay and I can take this turret down, which is exactly what he did. Got it right. But Against All Authority, I was just about to say, are going to take their first turret of the game. Didn't quite work out. Are we going to see our first team fight here? That turret just hanging on just about. Oh, apparently Moa bought 2 Negatron cloaks by accident in the last purchase, so maybe a little bit tired this stage of it.
It's a long old day here.
It's a long old game so far. I mean, 25 minutes in terms of a game is not that long, but it's not usual that you see this kind of game, just, you know, 25 minutes and not so much action happening. And I agree with you on that one, that CLG, that really favours them in this situation. We've still not seen a dragon. Right?
Go for all Nordic East would be a despair about this sort of game.
This is already 3 games in go.
We'd be about 35 kills
Nordic
in
East
by now. They are action-packed. If you ever miss those, you can catch us, of course, on ESL TV, bringing you all the action for that one. But it is the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. We are in the 3rd and 4th place playoffs. Soaz getting caught out by Hotshot GG. He actually fancies this one, despite the fact Moma's just standing in the background. And you can see, actually, that meanwhile, Against All Authorities are pulling out Dragon. Are CLG going to try and contest this one? St. Vicious is going to come in. He's not going to be able to get the smite. He has dived on towards Linak. Meanwhile, Hotshot GG's being dived on at the top here. And you go, wow, you can see the burst going down on Moma there. That's going to be all Big Fat LP using his Deathfire Grasp and ability just dumping on him at the moment. And Big Soaz has dived in. Soaz goes down. CLG coming out very strong in this fight. And suddenly they're having to back away because Cogmore's trying to rip them apart. Hotshot GG just eaten. And he's going to get away. No, St. Vicious has dived in. Very nice play there. Really well baited. The Event Horizon goes down on Linek. Cogmore will go down as well. St. Vicious finally, he's just going to survive, and Linak will go down as well. A 4-1 exchange, I should say. And wow, very good exchange. And like I said, these long games, it's CLG's type of style.
Yeah, really, really great stuff. They lost Dragon, sorry, but yeah, they got the kills out of it.
27 minutes in.
I was just thinking, 4 for 1, and a great bit of play from CLG. A great fight. Actually, N-rated trying to hold this turret now, but should be a little bit careful. He's got no mana in there. That turret is on full HP, and N-rated will just clear that one out. All of CLG actually heading themselves back home. needlessly large rod now picked up for Vega as well. He's up to 336 AP compared to the 232 of Ari, who has got Negatron Cloak. He had 2 Negatron Cloaks earlier, as we heard. He bought that by accident.
Big Fat LP is literally popping someone at the moment with that Deathfire Grasp. Will obviously knock off a chunk of their health, and 900 damage coming out from Primordial Blast, and then everything else dumped on top of it. He is literally popping someone as he spots them. Ezreal farming up down the bottom there. Double lift clearing out that wave. Has got that Trinity Force probably complete now. Let's have a look at sort of money he's got. 1,400. I think he's going to go finish it off. I'm just waiting for it to pop up on the screen. He's just waiting for a few more ticks of gold. He's obviously quite misjudged that and gone back a little bit early. Seeing against authorities, what are they going to do from this one? They're in a little scary position here. CLG suddenly drove forward. They've suddenly grouped up as a team and they're looking very strong. Hotshot GG now is like, I'm going to dive in your face. He's got Frozen Mallet complete with that at Mars. He's got a brilliant spot, a Fortitude pot sat in his pocket as well. St. Vicious has been diving on them brilliantly. Look at that, such a support man. Aegis of the Legion and Shirelia's Reverie on that jungler. He's really playing a brilliant... Oh, Yellowstar got caught out. Wow, that was horrible.
He wasn't
caught out
there
brilliantly by an Event Horizon. Yeah, he just literally walked straight into it. Not good, and that's surely going to mean CLG will push on. Could even go for Baron here. They have the advantage name, but I think they're going to try and push forward towards the tower, though. Would be the wisest choice. They have a clear advantage, and a double lift as well. Will continue to shoot there. He has got the Trinity Force complete. Event Horizon goes down. N-rated caught out this time, and wow, Big Fat LP is just saying kill him and targeting away, and they will drop instantly. Tower will go down. Linak trying his best to burn out and try and do anything on them, but you just don't have the damage to compete with a Veigar, and he's just literally just picking off them targets. 338 AP, and with that needlessly large rod, he's probably just got another chunk of gold. Yep, 1,100 gold from that little engagement. Oh, Linak has been caught out now. Wow, they're just absolutely... What are they doing? Against All Authority, you're just completely getting caught out of position.
They're tired.
They must be tired because they are just falling into simple ganks here. And CLG easily picking them off. And Maokai just jumping on someone. Big Fat LP, look at that. He's just like, well, we might get lucky and somebody else might walk around the corner. The way they're playing, they might just stroll into another Event Horizon.
Yeah, I think Yellowstar, by the way he walked into that Event Horizon, he wasn't watching his screen, or he was looking somewhere else, or just, you know, one eye closed, he was having a daft. But yeah, it's not looking so great for the European side. Are you tired as well, Demon?
I think I've had too much Red Bull. I've got to be honest. Starting to get a little wired. Big Fat LP will be picking up the blue buff, I think, unless St. Vicious trolls him and picks it away from him. But yeah, the Baron has been cleared out of any wards by Chowster. He's like, no, we are completely clear, but we don't need it right now. We are in complete ascendancy. 10-5 up, 4k in gold. And they can just pick off a target at will. Irelia are actually thinking, well, I might get blue. They have got a ward there actually on Moma, and they've actually chose to take that chance to go across. Perfect, and Chowster's going to come across and go, little sods have placed a ward in the back here again, so they might peel away from this one. Yeah, they've realised that Against All Authorities are ready, but judging by the way they're playing, they might just dive straight on him. It was Linak actually they went for, didn't manage to pop the Event Horizon. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Oh, it was Moma. I knew it was going to be someone they managed to get onto and just turn straight towards him. Moma has got away from it though, so that quick burst of Big Fat LP may finally be taken down. Yellowstar though is being targeted. They have managed to get on towards Big Fat LP. Chowster, sorry, also managing to dive on, but it's not going to be enough damage. Linak wants to get on towards double lift, but Soaz is being eaten alive by Hotshot GG. Hotshot will finish off the kill there. St. Vicious is popping back N-rated. N-rated will go down very quickly, and double lift will complete the ace on Linak with one little Q in the back. Oh, he missed it. Oh, managed to get a basic attack though. And well, actually I tell a lie, it's not going to be an ace because Moma's ran away like a girl, and that will be all over. CLG just going to drive it home. Can they go? Will it go for Baron, or will they just finish it in towards the turrets? Not too sure. They've got the choice of their own, really. Oh, and they nearly caught Moma out there as well. So they've got a siege minion, so they're going to go straight for the tower inhibitor.
Yeah, inhibitor, first inhibitor of the game, going to go down, and slowly but surely, I think, is what we've seen from CLG in this game. But they're getting the job done, and that's what really matters when it comes down to it. As you said, Moma coming back in, starting to respawn. Now, Yellowstar obviously was the first one to drop in that fight, and Rated went a little bit after it. Actually, I think it was Soaz who was really chased down and basically CLG romping that fight, we can say. Baron wasn't taken, though, and the ping is going to go down, and CLG need to be a little bit careful here because they'll realize against All Authority that Big Fat LP is down at that bottom side. They'll probably realize that a few of them have portaled back home, and they'll get into a position now where they can possibly start off this Baron. The problem is Hotshot is there, he's got blue buff on, he's actually got a couple of, one elixir, the elixir of Fortitude running, and actually we will see a possible engage here again in the middle. CLG, knowing how good these fights have gone for them so far, I don't think he'll have any qualms with having another one.
No, absolutely not. Big Fat LP doing over 1,000 damage with that ulti now. Void Staff possibly going to come out. Actually, he could just go to anything. He's probably going to go towards the knee. Rabadon's Death Cap, I would guess. Hotshot GG just pops away, picks up a bunch more kills. The old one shows himself up and instantly gets photographed. Bless him. And if you've missed it, guys, there is an awesome photograph of the old one on the internet right now. It's like, oh!
It's the best one ever.
It is a very good photo. Caught out in between the interview with Daniel Zenin-Klein on the main stage. So I think Baron may be the position where they're going to fight for again. And I'm not too sure if Against All Authorities want to contest it. They're going to have to, though. It's the only chance they've got of getting back into this game. They have to. They really have to close down Big Fat LP very, very quickly. Oh, and Raid's been caught out. And everything's just going to dump on his head. Just to get away from it, though. And that means N-Rated is going to be very, very low. They don't have the ability to just zip in and deal with him. And Big Fat LP is on guard, ready and waiting to see anyone come in. Linak comes in the side. They would be unwise to use their abilities too much on Linak. It's the right-hand side they want to go for, and it was Yellow Star actually St. Vicious dived on. But St. Vicious has been separated from the team. Big Fat LP was targeted very nicely by Soaz there this time, and now St. Vicious is in trouble. Against All Authorities is actually looking very good in this fight. St. Vicious will go down. That's a double kill for Against All Authorities. Not sure starting on the Baron is a right choice to do, and they should back away from that, take the little advantage that they got from that fight. And, well, you know, they're still close in terms of gold, and they're actually managing to catch out Big Fat LP, and that's a big, big difference. They need to completely crowd control, stop him blowing any of those abilities, and I think the Deathfire Grasp, yeah, didn't even get a chance to use it this time.
Yeah, and you know why? It was an amazing move from Soaz. He was in the brush. Actually, there's a ward there, so they should have probably noticed that, but he actually used his decoy, went straight in there, and then ulted the instant that he popped back up, managed to throw Big Fat LP, and by that time, they were obviously right on top of him. Absolutely destroyed him, like you say, before he even had chance to use that Deathfire Grasp, and won themselves a good couple of kills from that fight. But Baron surely will be a matter of priority in the near future. If we look down the kills, currently 14 for 8 in favor of CLG, 51 to 47k gold, 5 towers to 1. So everything still pointing to a North American win here for 3rd place, but it is still, as we've just seen in that last fight, one of those games which still can turn. If a fight goes wrong for either team, especially since we're approaching a 40-minute mark, then we could see game over.
Well, they've got the advantage that Yellow Star will get very, very strong the longer the game goes on Cogmore. That helps, but they need to keep him in the right positions, just as we saw with Cop from Team Curse earlier on. He was in the right place at the right time every single fight. Doublelift has been doing a fantastic job of staying out of the way of all the danger. You know, he's just been avoiding it, and obviously very manoeuvrable that Ezreal is. And they have to get on Big Fat LP early. He's the target they've been trying to go for. He has completed that Void Staff now, so all the ability power, so he's just going to be completely dying in there. Magic penetration as well built up. St. Vicious actually kind of got split off. He went off for one target, which was the right target. He went for Yellow Star, but the rest of his team were like, we've kind of been caught out here. Linak has been caught out. Event Horizon, wow, and then you see the burst going down. He's had to pop his ulti though. Have they got anyone anywhere nearby to do it? No, they will not. Soaz does manage to get in there, gets his ulti popped. Linak's eaten the damage. That's worked out very well for them. Can he manage to target though? Oh no, Yellow Star's been caught out on the side by Big Fat LP. That's exactly what they did not want. Ezreal ulti going across. Linak taken down very low. Meanwhile, Soaz has managed to dive back in again there. Crescendo does go across. St. Vicious is just about hanging on. Will finally get taken down, but Big Fat LP just comes in again. They have to avoid them Event Horizons, and Big Fat LP managed to avoid all of the damage, and that's the problem again. And Doublelift just keeping it at the back. The right people are just staying out of the right fight. CLG are playing very well in these team fights at the moment.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Big Fat LP again not using the Deathfire Grasp in that one. He was actually at the top side of the team as well. That's when we saw him catch out Yellow Star, who wasn't expecting that. But again, you know, Linak doing his job, I suppose, with Mundo, just holding, taking all that damage as much as he could pretty much have before he got away. We are seeing Big Fat LP getting away there. He's double buffed up now, and well, I could well imagine that this is time for a Baron attempt to come around. Although I've said that, I think about 30 times now in the last few minutes. He's currently up to almost 500 AP. Is Vega. He's at 478, currently sat on, compared to Ari's 346, who does have an illicitly large rod. She's going to go home and finish her buying off. What's that going to be? And it will be Blasting One. Sold the Doran's ring from earlier to make room for that in the build. Already got the Abyssal Scepter as well finished off. Yellow Star, in the meantime, actually gone for the Chain Vest. Bit of armor for him. And Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge already complete. So still very a touchy game, I'd say, at this point, and still both teams not wanting to take any kind of risk without it being 100% calculated and safe.
No, but CLG are going to push. They've got an open inhibitor, so why not go for it? Yellow Star's got to be careful. He's been caught out a few too many times for my liking here. He's 1-4-2, which is such an unusual score for Yellow Star, but he hasn't found anyone he can get onto. Here we go, Soaz sneaking in there, has managed to dash in. Can they catch on towards anyone in particular? It is going to be St. Vicious they're targeting on. Not too sure that's the right person. Crescendo does go across his double lift. They suddenly switch to target, but a good Janna ulti manages to blow them all backwards. Linak trying his best to get in there. No damage coming across. Ari, is just dashed away. Hotshot GG continues to drive down, but the double lift ulti manages to go across the entire team, and Against Authorities have been picked off left, right, and centre, as you like to say, Joe. And that is going to be GG. Surely Chowster finishing off the inhibitor there, and double lift. Well, he hit that ulti perfectly.
Absolutely perfectly. It was across them all. Not really all that amazing, to be honest, from Against All Authority. And they're going to be feeling it now. I mean, Yellow Star and N-Rated are left. What's their choice? Do they try and push out and stop this one? I mean, CLG all fairly low, so the chances of them going back for Baron is not all that high. Blue buff is available. Double lift actually will just blink over and take this blue buff away. Actually, we'll leave it to Big Fat LP. And maybe they'll even take Dragon. Not that they... actually, Dragon's not even there. They're just going to go home, and we are going to see another shopping trip at 40 minutes.
Woo! Yeah, keep it on going, guys. They are playing till the party begins, I believe. 18-10 at the moment, 40 minutes in. 7-1 in towers, which honestly it's been 7-1 in towers for a long time now. And this is actually similar, very resembles the first game, but Against All Authorities, like I said, they're not out of it yet. They just haven't been able to get the right targets. They almost got double lift, and then Janna blew his ulti and red. Boom! I get away from my carry, and Monsoon in the face, threw them all backwards. Ari tried to dive in as well. I think they kind of split target as well, because they were like, we want Big Fat LP, but we also want double lift, and they kind of went separate ways for them. They need to focus on the one. Big Fat LP did go down. He was the only death in that fight. And why is he so? Linak's really, he's trying his best to eat as much damage as he can. The initial burst damage, trying to get blown in his face, and that's what he wants. And obviously give the rest of the team the chance, but Yellow Star just not been able to get in the right place at the right time. He's not really getting the cover that he wants. Soaz nearly got in there. He tried to sneak his way in and get his ulti off and try and jump all in the air. That's what the initiate was from. But St. Vicious, well, he's been doing a good job of crowd control, keeping people away from anyone important. And you know what? This is CLG style. They protect very, very well. Even when they used to use Cogmore as the strat at Gamescom, you know, they were very good protection. It was just a brick wall that could not get near. At the time, it was Chowster playing, I believe, on Cogmore. No, it wasn't, because Chowster didn't go there. It was Big Fat LP actually playing AD carry, I think, if I recall. As it is, Against All Authorities might get caught out of position here. CLG pushing straight towards the top there, and Against All Authorities are nowhere near. They're having to all recall, but they're going to have a lot of damage done to their tower before they even react to this one. Linak is going to try his best to keep them away. St. Vicious is saying, well, we can tank it, I'll throw my ulti down. The rest of the team were not in agreement there, and they've stepped away until those wave of minions come there, and that's actually bought a little bit of time for Against All Authority to get back in position. And the turret has gone down. That's the bottom wave of minions actually pushing it down, because CLG have not really pushed that for a long time. And as it is at the moment, I'm not too sure whether CLG want to take this fight still, would you believe it?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like it. Actually, Linak just getting caught up there. We've seen the Guardian Angel for Yellow Star now, making him even more annoying, up to 353 CS. This stage of the game, 42 minutes in, and we are actually going to see Soaz move straight in there. How's this going to end? General ulti did go off. Soaz actually will have to decoy himself away from that fight. Sent Vicious ulti down in the middle of the pack. They are going to focus him and get that kill sometime soon. There we go. Finally, that works out. And that will be a 1-for-0 in favor of Against All Authority. They are still not down and out of this game. Incredible stuff.
But they are so struggling for damage. I mean, they landed that perfect. That was the perfect fight for them. They managed to get the Soaz, get his ulti across the entire team, and then a crescendo across the entire team, and yet they could only just about get St. Vicious in there. They really are hurting for damage in comparison to CLG, whereas Big Fat LP, as soon as he lands one of those big event horizons and gets his ulti across someone almost dies, and every single time it's Ari is just like, what the hell has just hit me? It's like a big roadkill sign coming towards my face, and he's had to just back away from every fight. His bait effectively been 4v5 every single time, and Momo is just not having a fun game. 533 ability power, and that's obviously working against him as well. And the mana that he's built up, let's have a look towards Big Fat LP, because he's at 659 ability power now. You can see that's doing 1,291
so
damage, his Primordial Burst alone. The Dark Matter then is landing for another 1,000 damage, and the Baleful Strike coming in for another 700 damage. So yeah, he is really, really hurting right now. Along with that Deathfire Grasp, but he's just popping on towards someone that anyone gets near him. So he's really doing a lot of damage, and they're just struggling to deal with him, and he's only going to get stronger. Although saying that, he's getting close to a pretty much full build. He's still got that spot there that he's just saving up probably a lot of gold towards. Actually, he's only got 226 on him, so the difference at the moment is that. So let's have a look towards Ari. Well, you can see he's hurting, but he's not been involved. Yellow Star, though, is causing problems now. He's got that Guardian Angels complete. He will be helpful in a team fight. But Double Lift, again, not being picked off. The Event Horizons missed this time. They might try and push on that, you know, and they have gone for St. Vicious. I'm not sure that's the target to go for. Linak has tried to come around the backside on towards Big Fat LP. They have managed to finally get onto Big Fat LP. Flashes out of it, and a good Janna ulti again there. This time the Event Horizon uses its defensiveness. Yellow Star has gone down. St. Vicious being targeted. Finally, they're going to get towards Hotshot. No, they just can't kill anyone. They're just completely misfocusing everyone. Big Fat LP comes in, throws a quick Q in the face, picks up a kill. Hotshot GG still not dead. Does go back in there. A double kill from Vagar, and would you believe it? After all the damage they threw out there, they could not get the kills. It was a 3-for-1 exchange, and that was, you know, it was a perfect initiation again from Against All Authority, but they just can't get the kills.
Yeah, the kill, it was hard to lock them down there as well. That was a point. CLG just coming in and out, and that is going to be good game. CLG will be our third place finishers here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. A hard-fought best of 3. For that extra cash and the medals and the glory that comes with a third place finish as well, and a tiring best of 3. You can see St. Vicious, they're looking pretty much finished for the day, I think. It's
been a long day for them. Like you say, they've been here since about 8 a.m. They've been sat on that stage for a long, long time. It is a lot of work to do, and they have picked up $8,000, I believe, so that's not too bad for a day's work, I've got to be honest. It's, you know, then the losers Against All Authority are not going to go home empty-handed. I think you'd say $3,200?
$800.
$3,800. I knew that. I didn't learn it eventually. But, you know, it's all about the game tomorrow. $50,000 or $25,000. You know, you're not going to mind finishing second, really. But Dignitas and Mesco 5, they are the two that have got there. But as it is, the champions are going to have to wait, because that board behind them does have CLG on it. They did win in Gamescom here in Cologne in Germany earlier on, so the first stop of the event, and they come third place in the last stop of the event. Not a bad day's work for them. As you can see, you can follow us on Twitter. This is QVD-Man. I am D-Man, and that is Joe_Miller, also known as Jojo Miller, and many other names amongst other things, of course. And well, what a fantastic game. It was a long game, Joe, but hard-fought one, and I think CLG deserved it in the end.
Yeah, I think they did as well. I mean, they played well against Moscow 5. They know it themselves. They lacked a few things to finish things off when they did have an advantage. But they've come into this game against AAA, and they fought their best. As we predicted for that third game, it was going to be a long one. It was going to be a very passive play from both teams, not wanting to make a mistake, not wanting to take any silly risks. And that's exactly how it proved to be. 45 minutes long. Actually, almost as long. Actually, no. Just a little bit longer. I think 4 minutes or so longer than the first game. Although the first game was full of action compared to that one in the end, in part. But that's enough yabbering on from us too. Let's get it onto the stage where the players are going to have a word and tell you their feelings on the game.
Thank you, good sir Joe. Yes, we are on the main stage here, joined by Hotshot, GG, and MoMA. These guys have just played 3 amazing games. CLG, however, able to come out on top of the last game to take 3rd place here at the IEM World Championships. MoMA, we're going to start with you. What is the feeling of the team going into those games? You guys had a great first game, and then it kind of faltered after that. What was really going through the minds of your team?
We were very confident in the second game, actually, because we had such a good first game. But we fucked up so hard in mid-game in both games. Like, for example, in the third game, I think at 30 minutes or something, like Big Fat could get 3 kills, like 1 by 1. It was so stupid. We just wanted to group up and came back to the game with getting first towers, and then everybody got caught. Like, this was really embarrassing for us.
What's the mentality of the team at that point? Are you guys able to stick together there and still have somebody that's still trying to be positive and keep the camaraderie going?
Yeah, of course we try to be positive, because the game was lasting 40 minutes and they got 1 inhibitor, and we saw that we can win the team fights, but it was really hard to win team fights against them. We could always kill 1 guy, but it's not enough to go get back to the game.
Right on. Got Hotshot. Coming into the second game, you guys obviously chose Olaf top. Was that a pick you really wanted or something you were going to chance for? Because that is usually a late game champion, but you guys have actually been doing that in most of your games this week.
Yeah, Olaf is like hidden OP, so we wanted him. He's good. He crushes Udyr, and he's fairly good against Lee Sin, so.
How are you guys feeling in those long matches? There was even a point there where it seemed like you guys could have finished the game. Was there anything you guys are going to work on in the future to make sure you can solidify that the first time around?
You know, I think just like having, a better lineup, more of an initiation lineup, because I think our lineups really lack initiation sometimes, and it turns out into these like really long games where it's like a war of attrition, and it's just waiting for people to screw up. So, yeah.
Right on. MoMA, what can Against All Authority take from this tournament? What are you guys going to bring for your fans next time?
I don't know, actually. I think we will watch the replays when we are at home. We just learned in this tournament that we have a lot of problems against American teams, and we need to fix them until the IPL in Las Vegas.
All right, guys, you heard it here from the men themselves. CLG taking 3rd, Against All Authority taking 4th place. We'll be right back after a few commercial breaks. Let's hear it one more time for both of these teams.
And there you have it. Congratulations to Team CLG for placing third at the World Championship here at the Intel Extreme Masters. Now, Demon, let's get a recap of today's matches.
Yeah, we started off the day with a hard-fought match, I think you'd say, but a very one-sided match as well. Dignitas looked unstoppable. They went through to the finals in complete domination, really. Voyboy looked unstoppable. Imakit Spy down at the bottom looked very strong. Locust helping him out all the way. I think Locust is the only one that not got a kill yet, so maybe look out for that tomorrow. Playing the perfect support, maybe. But Skara as well, looking to maybe pick up that MVP shirt of I carried today big. Maybe that will happen. But they beat Team Curse. It was 2-0. It was a very one-sided match. It wasn't Team Curse here. So apologies about that. Team Curse didn't make it in that final. But it was a very, very one-sided game against all authorities. They just, I don't know what's gone wrong with them today, but they didn't quite turn up in the morning. They looked very good there, but CLG just beating them in that third place. Obviously, after that, we had CLG versus Moscow 5, and that was a fantastic match. Moscow 5 looking incredible in the first game. CLG took it to them in the second match, but it wasn't to be. Moscow 5 dug in deep, they turtled up, and they managed to fight the way back and perform brilliantly. So they went through to the finals as well. So Dignitas versus Moscow 5 will be the League of Legends final here at the World Championships in Cologne. It will be 75,000 for the up for grabs, 25,000 for the loser, which is not a bad prize if you ask me, for coming second place, $50,000 for first place. So big game tomorrow. I'm sure you guys are all going to tune in for that. Obviously, we just had the third place playoff as well. CLG taking that one 2-1 against all authorities. Against all authorities, easy for me to say. It was a very long, drawn-out game, which I kind of expected from CLG, but you know what? That's how they play, that's how they win, and they have won things. So third place for them, and a fantastic performance.
Exactly, and tomorrow is the grand finals. Tomorrow we will start off with Counter-Strike at 9:10 a.m. ESC versus Navi. Following after at 9:45 a.m. will be StarCraft. Third place, Feast will be playing against MMA, and for the final for StarCraft, Puma versus MC. And at 3 p.m. on the League of Legends tournament, M5 versus Team Dignitas. We are definitely looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at the World Championships here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Hanover, Germany. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. What he held left. Oh, no, she will flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the